Hello and welcome to Stateside here on Politics Social. I am Graham Hughes and I am accompanied tonight by Mikey Famine, who is just coming on board, which is really cool. If I just get him to come up. Ta-da! There he is. Hello, Mikey Famine from the Bit Network. Are you hearing me?
Have to get my cohort. I am without sleep.
Oh no!
In a very desperate way.
Do you want me to do all the talking?
Well, I got Tim to represent me. I'm bringing forth my champion, Tim, as soon as I can find his frickin' thing on Facebook.
People are asking, are we starting? Yeah, I think I put it to 9 o'clock. It was a bit late, sorry. A bit late getting started there because I was sending messages out on Facebook and Threads and Blue Sky saying, hey, please watch our show. So while we're waiting for Tim to get here, big shout out to everyone in the chat, especially Martin Harrow, who's there, been waiting patiently. Anne Phillips, One Angry Pagan, Diz in the chat as well, Attila D6. We've got Francis Winrow and Pete's Music. It's been there since the start. You couldn't find the light switch. If you'd like to join our beautiful friends in the beautiful chat, all you need to do is press the big, beautiful subscribe button. And wait for a minute. But we don't want any Trumpsters, don't want any MAGA fanatics, we don't want any refuckers, we don't want any UKippers, we don't want any gobshites, we don't want any bigots, we don't want any transphobes. Just go away, just fuck off. We've got enough of you. Do you know what I mean? We don't need any more in the world.
I'm sure one of your bigoted little friends is having a live stream where you can go pester them.
Yes, I'm pretty sure there is somewhere else to go on the internet where you'd be welcomed with weird, creepy, open arms. As they go, ugh.
Speaking of weird, creepy open arms.
Yes.
Tim's here. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, Epstein.
No. Yeah.
Epstein. So we're not allowed to talk about Epstein. So I thought tonight we could just talk about Epstein because we've been told specifically by the President of the United States in all caps on his Truth Social network not to talk about Epstein. So do not talk about Trump and Epstein, Epstein and Trump, Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump. Don't mention them in the same sentence at all. We're going to try really hard tonight not to do that.
Graham, you act like there's any fucking evidence that ties the two of them together.
But like all the pictures.
Any?
Yeah.
They don't even know each
video,
other.
Flight logs, the list that's gone missing.
What list?
What list?
There isn't a list. Also,
it's like
we have
a child holding a piece of paper behind them that they just passed to the mating class. Can you? Can you have?
It's
no.
Worse than that.
I've got nothing. I haven't gotten.
It's worse than that. The paper is bigger than their back. You know what I mean? Like we can see this giant 6-foot tube rolled up, like a rolled up map or something that's like 6 feet tall, and it's sticking up over their shoulders, and they're just continually lying about. No, I never took that big old map. Why would I take a big ass map and roll it up and put it in my backpack? I would never do that.
I mean,
you see it. It's right there.
I mean, he's getting his little MAGA lot in line, isn't he? Because I saw Charlie Kirk got a personalised phone call off Trump to say, please stop talking about Epstein.
Yo, you know who turned on him? Everyone's favorite white supremacist, not Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes. He said MAGA is cooked. That was their darling little kid.
I thought you were going to say Joe Rogan then.
Joe Rogan's mad about ICE. But I mean, once he gets out, once he's done with the, once he wakes up and realizes that the Epstein shit isn't gonna come out, he will definitely be like, I just don't understand why he didn't tell me. Like I had him sitting in here, and then like he didn't want to tell me. Like I don't understand. He's so confused.
We have a Tim.
Ghost list.
How you doing, Tim? You all right, mate? Just adjusting the screen a little bit.
And you're muted.
We can't hear
as per usual.
Ground control to Major Tim. We still can't hear you. Your sound is dim.
You should be able to hear me.
Turn it up, and then get right in front of the mic.
Do your whole Brian Blessed impression. I'm Brian Blessed.
So quiet. Also check Zoom because Zoom likes to start us off at like fucking 15%.
Zoom is a little bitch.
So scared of talking.
Ugh. Pain in the ass, that's what
it's almost like it's a telecommunications application.
Indeed. Right. That looks about right.
He had nothing to do with any of this. And Trump doesn't know him, doesn't have anything to do with it. And also, Ghislaine Maxwell.
Ghislaine, Lane of Jizz.
That's what her name is. I mean, that's what her mama named her. You know what I'm saying? That's not my fault. That her fucking name's Ghislaine. What is she in jail for?
People trafficking. I think she's the only woman ever to be put into jail for the crime that she's in jail for. Usually men, but yeah, she people trafficked. She prostituted. She
right,
yeah,
right.
She assaulted minors, sexual assault on minors.
To whom?
To minors, to young girls.
No, and brought them to whom? People, right? Just random people.
Yeah,
so
random
I mean,
people. We don't know. There's no way of knowing.
If only there was a way for her to like get a hold of those people.
Yeah.
Or maybe like even had like an island.
Yeah.
Like access to an island.
Captain Coke.
She could have those people.
Pardon me. Captain Coconut, £5 super chat. Thank you very much. Using Adobe Premiere Pro to edit the prison footage together makes it easy to get the metadata and find out the raw footage is 4 videos spliced together. Yeah, with a minute missing at midnight.
Hey, we always change the cameras over at midnight exactly.
Easy to use. Tim, we can still hardly hear you. You've got to whack your mic up. Give your mic a big smack. George, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Trump is giving Putin 50 days. It's a bit taco, isn't it? That's exactly what I thought when I read that headline on CNN this evening. When he's giving him 50 days, and I went, yeah,
okay.
He loves his deadlines, doesn't he? Oh, in 2 weeks' time, I'm going to make a big announcement. In 3 months, we're going to put tariffs on everyone for not giving us a great trade deal. What deal do you want? I don't know. He's putting tariffs on Brazil.
That'll teach him.
Brazil runs a deficit with America. America sells more stuff to Brazil than it buys off Brazil. There's nothing more they can do. It's like these Brexit. We have Brexiters in our country telling us that we were going to get a better deal with the EU than the one we've got when we were in the EU. And I'm like, we got free trade. Where'd you go from there? How's it going to get any better?
It's going to be better than free. And that's the beauty of this lie, right? Like this whole tariff, we're going to take the whole economy over like mobsters and just like we'll really manipulate this to our benefit. How?
Yeah.
Like you can't. Like it doesn't work unless it's free. And as soon as you start putting hampers on it, it doesn't work anywhere. Like the kid with the finger in the dam. Like you can you're just going to build the pressure up somewhere else and some other rock's going to fall. Get your hands off of it.
But you're trying to have this conversation with Brexiters because they're the thickest picture. I mean, they still are. They just don't understand anything. Like tariffs are an undiscovered country to them. They don't know what it means. They don't know what tariffs are. And we had these people in our country a few years ago saying, let's go WTO. They wanted to go to WTO rules because he didn't understand WTO rules. And when he said, well, what about all the tariffs that are going to be put on as WTO standards? Like the tariff on frozen beef carcasses, it's like 800% or something absolutely mad. And they were like, oh, well, we'll just, how are we going to trade with the EU? Oh, well, we'll just zero the tariffs. I'm like, okay, there's a thing called the most favored nation deal at the WTO. And it means that if you zero the tariffs for one country, you've got to zero the tariffs for all of them on that particular product or slab of meat or whatever the fuck it is.
It's not complicated, but you do have to like dig in a little under the surface to understand trade. Like, I mean, the basics of trade. Like, you can't just look at it from a distance and be like, well, I don't know which football team is better, but I like their jerseys more. I think they're going to win. Yeah. You can't do that with trade. You're going to have to actually look into the things that you're talking about and have some sort of plan for if this doesn't work. And that's why they usually don't, they only move incrementally so that there isn't this huge whiplash every time something doesn't work out the way that you planned it does. Yeah. But when you literally have a fucking slot machine for a brain, in the case of Trump, he can't understand. He's like, it says if I put a coin in there, I will get $1 million. So I'm going to put a coin in there. It's like, no, you can win $1 million. He's like, I know I'm going to win $1 million. Well, this is a fucking racist, dirty ass fucking immigrant machine. Get it out of here. Like, he's just dumb. He just doesn't understand it.
But the thing is, Trump is smarter than 99% of the Brexiters in our country. Because at least Trump understands that, if you want to disrupt trade with the country, you can't put tariffs in. I mean, it hurts your country more than it hurts anyone else's. but you can put tariffs in, and then you negotiate to bring down the tariffs. So WTO has a minimum, like the standard tariff for stuff. If you go to the WTO rules, you get the standard tariffs for everything. And what these dickheads over here were saying is, rather than start the tariff at 50% and then negotiate to bring it down tit for tat, we'll bring it down on this commodity, you bring it down on that commodity, and you come to some agreement. Instead, they were going to say, no, we're going to zero tariffs. We're going to make them zero, and then we're going to start the negotiations from there. And they even got asked on TV, they were like, but hang on, if you start at zero, what are they negotiating? Because you can't bring down tariffs to less than zero. So you're like, well, I'm going to give you everything you want. Let's negotiate. I was like, well, why would we even start a negotiation with you? And they just didn't understand it, Mikey. And it's the same thing in America, except at least they know that the way to start a negotiation is by putting a high price on it and then negotiating it down rather than giving it away for free.
And best part is he's not even fucking allowed to do this. Well, all these tariffs are fucking illegal.
Really?
Like, yeah, you need Congress. You can't just declare an emergency, because what's his emergency? He's got to pick one. You know what I mean? Like, because he keeps swish-swashing about why he's doing tariffs. And then he fucked up with Brazil, saying it was like, well, you guys are being mean to Bolsonaro, so I'm tariffing you. You're not allowed to do that, dumbass. Like, he can only do it in times of let's say Canada finally gets sick of our shit and starts whooping our ass on the Northeast. Okay, yeah, then he as president, as commander-in-chief, can put tariff on Canadian goods. He's not allowed to do any of this shit. We're not under attack by anybody. He's making up this migrant crisis as an invasion from fucking Nicaragua and all these other tiny ass countries that were being invaded from by people on foot. Like, it is the dumbest shit I've ever. First they sent the grandmas, and then they sent their delicious food, and then now everyone in America wants to keep them and get rid of the racist white people. Because if we had a draft, whether you want to keep abuelitas or rednecks, I got bad news, rednecks. You're not winning that vote.
It's not them. It's not them.
Oh, man,
we need to bring Tim in, but your microphone's like super, super, super low. I don't know what setting it is.
Is this better? I'm like in the microphone.
No, it's not your. It's like the sound of your voice. Your voice is beautiful. It's just the mic
clarity
level
is fine, but the whole thing is down to like 5%.
Yeah, so there's something gone horribly wrong in there. In fact, I'm going to turn Mikey's sound up a little bit because I think he's a bit lower than me. People
about the kids napping.
Yeah, sorry about words not coming up on the top chat there. Top chat. I think if you send a super chat, I've got a feeling you can say what the fuck you like. I think someone should try this out. I think someone should send a super chat to see if they can just be as offensive as fuck and see if the super chat still comes through, because I've got a feeling it will. But please don't drop the C-bomb, because I don't want to actually get demonetized on this. Tim broke his mic now. Oh, Tim's broken mic. Poor Mike. And Philip says, as long as he keeps sending defense stuff to Ukraine during the 50 days, it's good. Yeah. He seems to have turned on Putin. Like, this is the thing with Trump. He has this honeymoon period where he's like, I love you, I love you, I love you. And then one day you just wake up and he'd be like, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. He's such a fucking child. He is like,
we'll even come back
you know the way the kids come home from school and they've got a new best mate every fucking day of the week because they're like 6. That's Trump. Arrested Development. He was, it's a Jesuit thing of show me the boy of Tim's
gonna leave
gone.
And come back, I think.
Oh, Tim, come back. I didn't mean what I said, Tim. I feel bad now.
I mean, it would be like the kids in school thing, but he's constantly like moving schools. So he's like the permanent new kid who's just like the permanent suck ass. Like, he finds that, like, he goes to a new school because his dad's in the army or something, and he has to keep switching schools. So he finds the biggest bully, and then he just starts licking boots. And he's like, see, I'm friends with the strong one. This will work out for the best in this survival game called middle school. Like, he's just weird. He just doesn't understand. He's like, Putin respects me. Oh, does he?
News to Putin. So yeah. But yeah, so could we talk a little bit about what it's been like in America for the last sort of week with this since Pat Bondi decided Pam Bondi? Pat, is it Pat or Pam? Pam Bondi. She's an underwear model or something. What is she? Is she CNN or is she WWE? I can't remember.
She's the former Attorney General of Florida.
Oh, okay, cool.
She's the one who dismissed. She's the one who dismissed Trump's fraud case with Trump University where they were claiming that they were an actual accredited university. So there was a class action suit against them, and Pam Bondi dismissed it.
Did you see Trump celebrating with Chelsea Football Club, says Sarah? Oh my God. Again, the man is Captain Cringe, isn't he? He just makes us cringe so hard.
I'm friends with the cool kids. Here
Everyone
I
was
come.
booing him.
Take a photo.
And someone had a camera, the phone, and they shot the whole stadium. People were sitting down. Like, the stadium wasn't very full because it was a shit idea of FIFA, and no one wants to go to America in case they get, I don't know, put in a fucking prison in solitary confinement for 6 months. To turning up with a visa, but
it was an administrative mistake.
But not being like, but not writing all over the social media how much they love Trump. So that's an act of treason, isn't it? Treason against.
What are you doing down there, Tim?
King Trump.
Thought you were resetting.
I don't know. He's trying to get his mic to work. Trying to get his mic to work.
Kick it.
I need to get a new mic. So
I've had harder
to take away on holiday with me because this one weighs a fucking ton. This one's like 1.5 kilograms. This weighs.
I know. I got the same one.
It's fucking mad. You got the stand as well, though. You've got the arm. I've got the little.
I stopped using the what's it called, the little pedestal.
Yeah.
Because I'm a drumming. I'm a desk, or am I shuffling around? It would pick up all the vibrations.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, you're working too well.
Probably shouldn't gesticulate so much, but people don't seem to complain too much. Ah,
there we go.
Tim, can we hear?
How's that?
Yeah.
I had to get a different microphone.
Okay.
Right, so let me just reorganize the view
Tim
again.
Ballin says evening flaps. Hi, Tim.
Hello.
There you go.
Flaps. That looks about right. So yeah, Tim, how you doing, mate? I haven't seen you for a while.
I'm doing pretty good. I've got also some like severe weather in my area, so I may just like suddenly disappear.
Oh shit. So what's happening?
Oh yeah, the weather I had.
Oh wow. People have been trying to give me super chats, but they've been blocked for giving me abuse. Okay, well don't then. You're not gonna have to use euphemisms in your super chat. You gotta be creative. Have a look at Roger's Profanosaurus and come up with some creative insults that'll fly above like an ultra high frequency swear that they won't understand, like, I don't know, the word felch. Graham, YouTube blocked my abuse, says Paul. Thank you very much for the super chat, mate. So, Tim, what's happening down in your neck of the woods then with New Hampshire? No, where the fuck are you? Hang on, where are you?
I'm in Connecticut.
Connecticut, next door, almost. Vermont, almost. One of them.
Same area of the
country. They all look the same to me. Is that racist? I don't know.
A little bit.
New England, can I just call it New England?
It's pronounced Corrupticate.
Corrupticate.
Hey, I wouldn't be talking there, Illinois boy.
Hey, that S is silent, and so will you, be.
Come on, feel the Illinois Great Stevens album.
Stop it.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You guys are haters.
It's not. Come on, feel the Illinois, is it?
Don't do it.
Just saying.
Don't do it.
So what's happening in Connecticut? What kind of weather are you facing, Timmy?
Thunderstorms and possibly tornadoes.
Oh, well, that's more exciting. I was going to say thunderstorms. That's not a big thing. But tornadoes. You're nowhere near Tornado Alley. What the hell? What the hell?
But
they
we
lost?
get them every once in a while. Oh, we get them every once in a while.
Did they need a Tom go? Did they need to? Why would they come over to visit you? That sucks.
Climate change.
Oh, bollocks. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? So I believe in Trump's new bill that they've just got rid of any kind of ways of being green, and they're just pumping loads of money into, I don't know, greasy, filthy, oily, grease, oil,
coal,
slime and coal, slimy coal, all the clean stuff, clean coal they call it.
They're giving a tax breaks to industrialized coal. That's what they're doing.
Fantastic, good, good job.
The one industry that really needed some investment, fossil fuels.
Are there still coal mines operating in America?
Yes, in Kentucky.
Is that so? Amtrak
and
can
West
still
Virginia.
work.
Yeah.
You still have steam trains over there, don't you? And mobile phones the size of bricks.
Funny enough, in Connecticut, we do have it's for fun, but we do have a steam train in Essex.
Is it for fun though? Is it, or is the only way to get to Wisconsin?
Yeah, it goes choo choo.
Hey, we don't have bullet trains.
No, you don't. Your fastest train goes about 33 miles an hour, I think.
That is you just say shit. You just say shit.
We got Metro North around here. It's not too bad.
I used to have Trump's trains, and you wanted the bullet trains. You wanted Japan because that would win everything, right? they didn't want any of the American trains. It was so.
Oh, Mikey, we got a super chat on our end.
I was getting there. Tim Ballum with £5 British. What do you think of the EXIF data on the raw footage of the Epstein prison CCTV? Yeah, like Graham said a little bit earlier, it's clearly edited.
Yeah.
Well, it's in the metadata. And do you know what? I can't believe because they're so incompetent. But it's easy to fuck with stuff like that because, I mean, look, you can move it from one physical medium to the next and you'll lose the metadata. Do you know what I mean? Record it back onto a digital tape and then record it back onto whatever you want to do.
Smart enough for that.
Get rid of all the metadata. Do you know what I mean? Put it on put it on a digital 8 tape or something. Do you know what I mean? Get an
put
old
it on VHS.
Just put it on VHS.
Put it on VHS.
No,
or
seriously.
even if they put it on a disc, but they put it in like .mov, it would probably it'd be probably just do it in a different format.
If they put
MP4.
if they put it onto a DVD format, like a DVD, do it onto a DVD ROM,
Betamax.
Yeah,
that would have lost the metadata. Laser disc, and the size of a sewer. Fucking plate.
They're so incompetent. They just took the output file from a Adobe Premiere output and just went, yeah, that'll do. We'll just
as if a whole generation of YouTubers cannot fucking figure out.
It was Wired magazine that had a look at it. Yeah, Wired magazine in the last few years has been the best bit of investigative journalism in America. It's like the last bastion since the Post and the fucking Wall Street and fucking bollocks was all bought by twats.
Them and Vice and Vox do good shit. Like Vice and Vox will get in there. Like they will be in. Like I think Vice did a piece in Honduras and Nicaragua, but they may have done both, honestly. But they have a bunch of people that they have embedded in Latin America, doing reporting on what's going on and where the migrant waves are, people walking the routes that people take to, like the caravan was taken and stuff like that, and the coyotes and like they're the only ones telling the story, but they're, relegated to the corners of the internet where they get 200,000 subs, but no one really watches the videos until like a year or so later when they are me and they're going back to research something. Like, holy shit, somebody actually did an entire piece of this the week it happened. Why did no one hear about this? They're doing it, but it's not getting out there.
Yeah, but I mean, just the brazenness of this whole thing with Epstein. It's fucking hilarious.
What's brazen? There's
nothing.
What?
They wound up their own base to go, oh, there's a list. And they all got excited. They got the little penises really hard, little tiny things.
It was...
There's going to be a list. And then they went, oh, there's no list. And all the people
They said there's no... Look, they were very specific in their statement. There is no quote unquote client list. So unless fucking Epstein took a big bold impact font and in the center of the middle of the margin said client list, they're not going to release anything because you guys asked for a client list. I looked all through his documents. Nothing said explicitly client list. So I guess you guys will get nothing, and he did nothing, and this tape is great. Take it.
Yeah.
And your boy Dan Bongino, this is what it's hurting weasels, man. I don't know why they thought bringing in all these fucking podcasters and crazy conspiracy types was going to be a good idea. Dan Bongino is about to blow the lid on everything, and I can't wait.
Yeah,
it's just really crazy enough, and it's
really funny that like conspiracy of a conspiracy is what's going to like bring down the Trump administration from the inside out. Like, this is what happens when you hire liars and thugs to lie to people who they thought were going to like tell them the truth. Like Bongino and Kash Patel went into the FBI thinking they were going to uncover everything.
Yep.
And they were just gonna be the darlings of the fucking conservative MAGA podcast movement. And when they went on TV and were like, yeah, there's nothing. We saw it. There's nothing.
They went behind that curtain.
Yeah. Now they're on the inside. Now the conspiracy is about them.
Yep. Now I can't believe Dan Bongino turned on us.
I can't believe I can't believe Pam Bondi lied. I can't believe Dan Bongino and Cash Patel are lying. Like Tucker Carlson and Alex Jones are going at them now.
Yeah, but I don't know how long this is going to last because this is how cynical I am about all this, but like January the 6th, that should have been the end of him. It should have been the absolute end of that motherfucker, and yet he's now president again. So there's these people who think they're Christians, even though they, like to just shit on anyone who's not from their neck of the woods, or even people who are from their neck of the woods that don't look right. However, they are very forgiving people of their own. They'll never forgive anyone else. I mean, they wouldn't forgive you or I if we did something naughty. But Trump, they will forgive him anything because they're in love with him. They're addicted to him. They need him.
They'll forgive Trump. They're not forgiving Cash Patel and Dan Bongino and Pam Bondi. Those people are going. Well, they're leaving.
And here's the other thing. People didn't believe that Trump was affiliated because Trump was on record saying, I'm going to release all the files. If I was part of it, why would I want to release And then he was like, hey, them files? What files, actually? What are you talking about? There are no files. It's like, hey, yo, I thought you said you didn't do it. That's why you were going to. Oh, so, I mean, again, you let the crazy genie out of the bottle. I don't know that they're going to drop this all the way ever, because that feeds the conspiracy. Like, this was the QAnon conspiracy, like with the child trafficking and all this was the thing. This is QAnon, and they got people on the inside, and they were gonna find out, and Q was gonna give them all the answers, and Donald Trump's been compromised. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're like, he's part of their conspiracy brain.
I guarantee you that it'll come out that this is not the real Donald Trump. Like, the real Donald Trump is someone else still working to fight for the people.
There'll always be,
but just like he was Joe Biden for a while. Like, there'll be a conspiracy about this, and that like it'll come out that this Donald Trump who's president is not the real Donald Trump.
Oh, it's a robot.
In the chat, Ernie Burns is saying Virginia Guthrie is a loss that no one is questioning. That's very true. She took her own life a few months ago. Rosie saying, will Patel leave his job? I think no. Bongino is an idiot, a total idiot, says Oliver. He is, but I don't think he's going to lose a job either. Alex Jones.
No. He said he's going to leave.
He's going to quit.
He says, I'm quitting and I'm torching Pam Bondi if she does not do what she said she was going to do. That's what Dan Bongino said in the meeting with the chief of staff. What's her face? The quiet lady that never says anything to him. I forget. She's in the cabinet.
Okay, but SG's got a question that I wanted to ask as well, right? So thanks very much for that and the super chat, SG. Really appreciate it. Genuine question. Why did Biden not release the files?
I don't know.
Who knows? I don't think he cared.
Well, he should have fucking done, because Trump's name's all over it. Might have, affected the election results in some way.
But that's I mean, look at what happened with January 6th. They could have had the fucking National Guard out there. They could have prosecuted aggressively everybody. Like, Ted Cruz should be in fucking jail right now.
Yeah.
Ted Cruz
Trump should be in jail. Trump should be...
I mean, Ted Cruz willingly assisted in the coup.
Oh, well, let's pause everything for 10 days.
Yeah, because you had a whole fucking slate of fucking rigged bullshit electors that you guys had fucking flown in overnight, and that you were going to try to pass through with the people, and then you were going to complain, cry foul yourselves to say that they were fake. They had the whole thing figured out. This was the whole thing with fucking Giuliani and all of them. They were all part of this. And the fact that he just runs around fucking flying to Cancun every time that there's a fucking natural disaster instead of going to fucking prison. This is a Democrat thing.
So
they need to prosecute people when they do shit wrong, or else they just continue to do it with impunity.
So very sorry, SG, but the straight answer to your question is we don't know why the fuck they didn't fucking say anything. And the follow-up answer to that is we assume they must be fucking idiots for not doing that, because they could have done. And then we had a message that I wanted to read out. Captain Coconut saying, these are not the files you're looking for. And Paul saying, did you see the video of Trump pocketing a winner's medal from the Chelsea game? I didn't see him pocket a winning medal, but I know he turned up on the stage and, like, you know, wanted to be on all the pictures with the fucking Chelsea team who all hate him. You know, British people hate Trump. You got to understand this. Like, they really hate Trump.
So do Americans,
even the right-wing people hate Trump.
We hate him too.
Yeah, we don't.
You two do.
We're not friends with him.
We are not the only two Americans that hate Trump. There are tons of people that hate this motherfucker. Susan Wiles,
actually.
Susan Wiles is the lady who is the Trump's chief of staff. So she's having a chief of staff meeting with her, Cash, Bongino, and Pam Bondi, and I think some aides or whatever. And Bongino's like, you need to fix what you said because you got us looking like liars. And he's like, I'm going to fucking walk. So they don't even know. Like, I'll have to check Twitter or whatever. I don't even know if he showed up to work today. Like, he was dead ass serious. Like, fuck that. You had me go on TV and fucking lie. You clean this up. Like, they're pissed. You can't actually get people to believe your conspiracy theory and then cover up the conspiracy theory. They will notice that. And I hope he leaves. He should leave, and then he should come on to the Ben Podcast Network, and we will do a full interview, Dan Bongino. If you want to tell the truth without being suppressed by the deep state, you just come on over to independent media, Dan. We'll listen. We'll listen to everything you got to say about them.
In February, right-wing influencers were given binders labeled the Epstein files.
Phase 1.
There's a picture of them all holding up this these files.
I heard that those binders were blank paper, and then they eventually got like manila envelopes with shit that everybody already knew, and everything was still redacted like it was before. They are not, dude. Trump has to be in there. He has to be, and he has to be
He's on the
off.
flight logs.
Hey, Tim, do you remember whose plane Trump was flying around in during the election because he didn't have any money left?
Oh yeah, it was Epstein's.
Oh,
Wasn't it?
I can't recall. Who was that guy?
It was the Lolita Express.
Joffrey
Epstein.
Epstein?
His busy mate. Questionable Insanity. Thank you very much for the £5 super chat. If I had big money, I would bet that list contains names from all sides of politics and the celebrity mafia. Right now, Trump is taking their money.
Well, yeah. Bill Clinton's on that list for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much, Questionable Sanity. That's very kind of you. I just think that this whole thing is so very typically Trump, and the fact that he'll get away with it will just enrage me the more I think about it. So I just kind of want to just hit the piss at the moment about the fact that there's so many people who still think he's fucking wonderful, even after he does this, even after he marches them all up to the top of the hill. And then he goes, "You're on your own, fuck off," and then disappears.
But you got to remember that these people
steak.
But these people take 3 weeks to a month to understand anything that he does.
A burnt steak with ketchup.
That's why this flood the zone tactic works so well, is because his people do not keep up with politics, and that's what he's hoping on. All these annoying ass little fucking YouTube channels are really informing the people and making it hard for him to maintain support about all the dog shit he's doing. Go ahead.
I was gonna say there are like the political commentators who are still like defending Trump. Like Charlie Kirk is like, I'm not gonna talk about Epstein either because I trust the president.
Yeah.
And like
Shapiro's getting roasted for it.
Like these guys lied to conspiracy-minded people, and now those conspiracy-minded people are pissed. The Alex Joneses of the world and the Tucker Carlsons of the world are Alex Jones is losing his goddamn mind over this.
He almost threw up his Ozempic shot.
and fucking Tucker Carlson is using whatever means he can to try and get Trump to release this list because he doesn't believe Trump at all.
Yeah. And when you're someone like a Tucker who is way richer than any of us will ever be, and it's not fair.
Yeah.
Like he's just so wealthy. He don't care about none of this shit. This is all fun for him. This is good sport.
I think everyone forgets that Tucker's just doing it for the love of the game. He's rich on his own. He doesn't need any money.
Tucker is not lying for money. He's already rich. This is just
he's lying because he wants to.
He's just a bad person in there. If Stephen Miller had money, it would be Tucker Carlson.
Oh, Mikey, we got a super chat on our end. Tim Ballum, British pounds. Cameras in every room. Who has the footage?
What cameras? We don't know if there's cameras.
We don't know about no cameras.
It's very, and they kept saying, oh, it was all this child sex abuse material. No one wants to see that. That stuff will never see the light of day. Wasn't the report that they would lure underage people to the island by Ghislaine and who's in jail for doing this to do sex acts? It wasn't just lure there to drink fucking coffee. They were abusing these people. So that means that there was 2 people in that room and you have cameras in every room. We don't want to see what happened to the victim. That part you can blur out. Let me see the face of the motherfucker. Who's in the fucking room with him? Nobody.
I'm just gonna play the video of Trump pocketing this Club Cup winners medal. Okay, this is the FIFA World Club Cup. Fucking, I can't even say it right. Here he is. Look, here's Trump, and he's there. He's got the medal in his hands. And then goes into his pockets, thumbs up from Infantino, and he's like, yep, I'll have that. And then he walks off like a twat. I'd like to say it's unbelievable, but it's just, he is such a twat. He is such an absolute cast iron, unapologetic gobshite. Look at him robbing everything. He's a billionaire and he still has to rob shit because it's just nothing's ever enough. Thanks very much to Question Mark Sanity. Sorry, Tim, I'll bring you on a sec. For the super chat. If I had big money, I would bet the list contains names from all sides of politics and the celebrity mafia. Right now, Trump is taking their money. That would not surprise me at all. Have I? Did I read that one?
Yeah.
And Chris
Don't
C.
fuck with my reality. I'm very sleepy.
Chris C. Thank you very much for the £2 super chat. It's not the X-Files, it's the E-Files.
Hey, remember when Matt Gaetz was going to be the Attorney General?
Oh my God. Can you only imagine?
What if Matt Gaetz would have stayed in? I think we would have got the files.
I think we would have got them by accident.
Yeah.
There's a great line by a band that I love called Pulp in one of their songs, and it said, it costs so much to look so rough. And I just think of Matt Gaetz when that line plays, because he spent so much money on making himself look like that, and he looks fucking ridiculous.
Natural.
He's got these little tiny little features in the middle of this big wide fucking face. He's just, oh my God. Yeah, he's horrible. And also, wasn't he a wanted criminal? Wasn't he wanted for sex trafficking across state lines or something?
Oh no, he just gave some young college girls $700 to $800 for books.
Yeah. Yeah.
After they partied and did drugs with him while he was in his 30s.
Mm.
And he's at a college campus doing drugs with college girls.
Yeah, yeah. Graham, this is from One Angry Pagan. The Democrats are too timid of the power they actually hold, especially the senators. Even as the minority, they have power, but they don't exercise it for the most part. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's pronounced Ghislaine. Love the sorry, Colin's just saying I love the US pronunciation of Ghislaine Maxwell. You know, so do you know about her dad, Robert Maxwell?
He's vaguely.
Yeah. What is his thing? Because I remember something about him.
He was I think he was Hungarian descent, but he was so in the 1980s, you had Rupert Murdoch, the dirty digger, the Australian who came over and started fucking with our media, and his big rival was Robert Maxwell, and he owned lots of tabloid newspapers and stuff like that. And one day he went out on his big luxury yacht, and he never came back. But he was
slippery out there on the deck.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Gotta have them boat shoes.
But yeah, he was a gobshite, and I don't think the ship falls too far from the arse. Especially with his daughter being, facilitating pedophilia for many, many, many years. And the American celebrities, the American millionaires and billionaires went over to Pedo Island and they just didn't give a fuck. They got away with it, and now they have.
But this is unfortunately a pattern, right? Like DeSantis, Bondi, whoever they have as AG now, these people have a lot to account because Epstein got his freak off over there. So did fucking Diddy in his Miami place.
Yeah, he got away.
Trump's got all of his shit going on at Mar-a-Lago. Like these are like Florida is the hub for all of this.
Yep. And
so we need to send in the National Guard, I think. Like get some motherfucking SEAL Team 6 into Epstein's Island. I want to find the tapes. I mean, if this is what we're doing, right? I mean, if we can go after motherfuckers who are picking the marijuana crop in California, we got to go after them with fucking Marines and ICE agents. Surely we can spare 20 to go into Florida and raid Mar-a-Lago, find out what's going on in there, raid the Epstein estate, go after Diddy's house. Like these are all Florida natives. These are Florida people.
Florida, man.
And DeSantis ain't got shit to say about it. Pam Bondi, all of this Epstein shit happened while she was Attorney General.
Yeah.
And now nothing happened while she was Attorney General because there was no nothing.
Yeah.
There is no nothing.
Yeah. Yep. So
that's the official statement. There is no nothing. I like
this from Inner Hype. So it says the GOPedo party instead of the GOPedo party. I do like that. Yeah. Unquiet Badge. I remember the clip during Trump's last term when he pushed past other leaders to get to the front. Said it all for me. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Trip said he treated Ghislaine with a strict hand. Rosie said, my dad worked at the Daily Mirror and was affected by Maxwell stealing their pension money. So he raided the pensions of the people working for the Mirror newspaper over here. It's a huge scandal at the time. And he was a monster. And Chris
over in the chat.
Sorry.
Okay, go ahead. Let me get a couple in here. Bruno Genius says a house built on lies is always going to come tumbling down sooner or later. The UK learnt that with Bojo. And Kay also says there's also a CIA and Mossad connection keeping them from bringing any of this to light. That's what everyone was saying beforehand, that the only reason that he was alive was because he was a CIA Mossad operative. And he had a whole honeypot operation where he would get cartel leaders and public figures and all these people, and he would get them to the island and get them exactly what their little fucking perverted fantasy was. And then he would record it all and blackmail them. Now, all of a sudden, there's no tapes, there's no blackmail, there's no people. Well, then, no problem. Open the doors and let us in.
Yeah.
No worries.
Paula, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Robert Maxwell was also a Labour MP in the 1960s. Trip is asking, thanks very much for the super chat. What's the connection between Musk and Ghislaine Maxwell? When do they hang out together? Asked Trip. That was after that was after Epstein went to jail the first time. When he got given a sweetheart fucking deal for some reason, and he hardly spent any prison time. Everyone had to sign NDAs, and he by and large got away with it. And Chris is saying, I'm furious that Prince, and I use that title in protest, Andrew, is not going to be investigated, prosecuted, and made to face the consequences for his evil, disgusting, and depraved behaviors. Yeah, indeed. It's a bit mad that Robert Maxwell
wasn't he afraid to travel for a while? Like he just stayed.
Yes,
he just stayed in the castle because he didn't want anybody to lock him up. Extradite him.
Yeah.
Elle says, let's just go to jail.
Elle says, Doc Brown, November 5, 2024 is when the timeline skewed off into that Taco became president and dodged jail. Oh fuck! That is. The history that we are living in at the moment, people are going to look back on it and go, what the fuck? How the hell did this clear rapist of children become president of the United States again? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And
the kids are going to be in the history books is like, okay, and then Trump lost at 2020. Okay, and then he's going to get arrested. And then he won again. What the... This book
won't be fooled again. So yeah, apparently Robert Maxwell had a state funeral in Israel. I didn't know that. Kirsty Hamilton, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. The Blacklist was based on some truths.
I love that show. I love that show.
That was a good show.
Red Reddington is the perfect villain. Perfect. Tim Ballin with a £2 super chat. Air horns. Epstein was the U.S. version of Lebedev. Is that the Israeli guy? The Israeli spy? I think so. Lebedev. Lebedev.
I think he worked. Sound the name rings a bell. Chris says, didn't the UK taxpayer end up picking the bill for the raided Daily Mirror pension pot? Yes, I think we did. Bad Mary said, my husband's workmate asked him if he killed Robert Maxwell. Well, I mean, do you know what? Like, if you are gonna take someone out, and I don't mean for pizza, pushing them off the boat's the easiest fucking way of getting away with it, because there's no witnesses, there's no evidence, there's no body, there's no crime scene. You can't cordon off the fucking ocean. It's why it really winds me up when people talk about, this secret guild of assassins that makes all its money by assassinating people. And I don't think they do. And the best way to assassinate a princess, like Princess Di, is to get her chauffeur slightly tipsy and then, I don't know, bribe him to crash into a wall and kill himself. It seems a bit unnecessarily messy. Oh, Russian in the House of Lords. That's how I know the name. Yeah.
So. It says here, the Wikipedia...
Evangeline Lebedev, yeah.
Born 1980, is a Russian-British businessman who owns Lebedev Holdings.
The Evening Standard.
Yeah, Evening Standard and ESTV, London Live.
He also is the son of a KGB agent, or the FSB agents, as they're calling themselves today, who is actually a prescribed individual in Canada, but not over here. His son is in the House of Lords. What a joke, says Diz. Yeah, absolutely fucking. He's Lord of Siberia, apparently. This was after Vladimir Putin not only invaded Ukraine in 2014, not only blew up a passenger airliner full of people, not only murdered a British citizen using Russian agents on British soil. He was given a fucking period. He's now part of our legislature for life. He says it's a lifetime appointment.
Would you like to hear his full title?
Go on then.
His full title is Baron Lebedev of Hampton and the London Borough of Richmond upon the Thames, and of Siberia and the Russian Federation.
That's an awesome name.
It's like 16 words.
What a gobshite.
Awesome.
And to do that, Dead City Gen, blood for the blood god, bin for the bin cast. I love you. Thank
Bones
you.
for the bone throne.
Bone for the bone throne.
So look, I honestly thought that the MAGA lot would just go along with this straight away, but there is a bit more kickback than I was expecting. Do you two think that this kickback's going to stick around, or sorry, I'm going to cough and fit here. No, trying to answer a question.
I think it'll stick around as long as fucking people at the top are complaining about it. Like if Dan Bongino is going to complain about it, and other people are going to complain about it at the top, then yeah, the MAGA people are going to be like, yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, but I think this is Democrat behavior. You know what I mean? So they feeling like, what the fuck?
But they got to turn
is he on our side, or is he the deep state? Like, he is giving deep state vibes to the people who hate the deep state. We knew that he was the deep state the whole time. They did not. Because this is their guy, and he does whatever he wants. He's a maverick. He fires from the hip. He says what he thinks. And he also covers up for himself and his friends.
But are they smart enough to make that connection, Mikey? Like, I think you overestimate their ability.
No. You have it backwards. They're dumb enough to still believe the fucking conspiracy theory. So they're like, why won't you do the obvious thing? Because they believed the conspiracy theory. So he is covering up what he said he would illuminate. And that to them is the only thing that they understand, is that he said it was there and now they say it's not there. Wait, are you the bad guy? Like, they don't have the same nuance we have.
It's one of his campaign promises to release the Epstein files publicly, and like the JFK files and the Martin Luther King files and all that, like declassify a whole bunch of stuff. It's one of his campaign promises, and it's one of the bigger ones for the QAnon folk and the other like conspiracy-minded MAGA folk who pretty much follow him through thick and through thin, who think that he's like some sort of savior from the internet. And for him to come around and his administration be like, yeah, there's nothing there, and then he's like, why are we even talking about this? Who's this Epstein guy? I don't know him.
Jumping in, inserting himself into the conversation just to say nothing to see here is very
putting
suspicious.
Out on Truth Social, stop talking about Epstein. Like, that's not helping his case. He's the one that's continuing it.
It's a real Barbara Streisand effect going on here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of these MAGA, especially the ones on social media, have been obsessed with this, but they were also obsessed with the JFK files, right? And the JFK files were released, and there's nothing in there. Gives a shit, right?
Everybody's social security numbers.
They released some social security numbers, some fucking pensioners, didn't they? But apart from
hey,
that,
what the fuck?
But like, why didn't they just like release something that was just heavily redacted? It's not like the fucking MAGA lot are going to read it because they can't read.
He's all over it. He's
he is all
deeply
over
implicated. It. They were neighbors down the street in Florida. Like their towns were like a half hour away. And a helicopter, that's nothing.
There's video from the 90s of them like licking each other's ears or whatever. Like they're best buds.
Nothings. Yeah, they're homies. And so the fact that he's like, oh, he's a creep. Why are you guys even talking about them? And then all that footage is still around. Because you got to remember the Pizzagate scandal?
Yeah.
Remember how hard it was to get rid of the Pizzagate scandal because they're like, well, maybe they filled in the basement. You know what I mean? And they always just kept making the conspiracy deeper and deeper instead of listening to reason. Trump is doing that for us, to them. Well, I mean, why are we still talking about it? That's just what a conspiracy guy would say. Like, this is their brain. Like, they think everything is a trick and everything is a lie to try to convince us to do things.
It's all entertainment. It's all WrestleMania, isn't it? So Trump's flittering between being a hero, being a villain.
The Democrats are bad because they are sex traffickers, because they do all of those things, because Pizzagate was real. And that's why they are on the right. They're not fiscal conservatives, small government, like big R Republicans. They're not that. They are on board because they are QAnon people, and that the Democrats are doing all of this bad stuff and they use their power to hide it. And now that Trump is there, he's going to expose it. Wait a minute. He's saying the same thing Biden did. That is sending up red flags for them that maybe would not have been raised earlier.
Yeah, I can appreciate that, like, they'll think about it, but honestly, I know that this is, like, really condescending, but I think they're so fucking stupid, they'll just forget the next day. I mean, you talk about people who are, like, severely mentally impaired, they've either been kicked in the head by a horse or they're so fucking inbred that the top jaw misses the bottom one by a good 2 inches. I mean, there's, I don't know, I just do not hold out any hope for the MAGA lot, no matter what Trump does, to see the light. I think he could murder these people's children in front of them and eat their corpses, and they'll still be like, oh, Donald, I love the way you murdered and ate my children. Do you know what I mean? He can do no wrong. He just seems to be put under this shiny fucking pedestal. And I think it's difficult for us on the other side of this just to sort of stomach the amount of craven sycophancy over in America.
So when I would debate Trumpers, which was very rare, they all were convinced that the Democrats were part of some sort of human trafficking, child trafficking, like the pedophilia thing. Like the Democrats support pedophiles. Like that's their thing. Their man's is covering for one of the most notorious we have record of. So much so that his fucking running buddy is still in prison about it. So this is not like, oh, I saw a link somewhere that like some weird kid's AI narrated YouTube video that like makes all these accusations. This person is sitting in prison for child and human trafficking with the intent of prostitution. Like Ghislaine is over there. She's in jail. So that part's real. Her and Epstein being connected is also real. Now that he has nothing. Like now that Epstein is apparently cleared of all charges, and he just did all this stuff by himself, and then he hung himself, and like they're not buying that, regardless. So whether or not they support Trump or not, this is independent of that. They don't like pedophiles because pedophiles equals Democrat. So this is a Democratic thing that they're tearing down. And that's why Joe Biden and all of them and the Clintons kept it up and kept it on. So, you know what I'm saying? So this was supposed to be a pillar. Mm-hmm.
They don't like, you say they don't like pedophiles, but that's not the case. They just don't like Democrats. So if a Democrat's a pedophile, it's more of a case to hate them. If a Republican is a pedophile, they don't give a shit. They're like, oh, well, never mind.
Where's Matt Gaetz now?
Time. You know, I mean, what are you going to do? Sexy children. There's sexy children out there. It's all their fault, really.
Where's Matt?
Before we go on, we've got a super chat from Ernie. Thank you very much for the £5 super chat, Ernie. Compromat is the perfect way to destroy democracy. The victims help to cover it up, and it drives everyone insane. You're absolutely right. People on my channel, we've got 1 minute and 30 seconds to try and hit the target. I think we need 2 or 3 more super chats. So if anyone wants to drop a super chat in tonight, I'd really, really appreciate it. And I'll say Epstein and Trump, and Epstein, Trump, Epstein more. This is basically the whole.
If we only got 90 seconds on Graham's channel. Come and like and subscribe to the Bin podcast before the show ends. Yeah.
Oh, I think he was talking about for his challenge.
Oh, for you got a challenge going on there, Graham?
Yeah. You set a goal.
Oh,
usually I do an extended show if hit the goal, but tonight I just put Epstein, Trump, Epstein, Trump.
Well,
why did you put Epstein, Trump, Epstein, Trump?
Because I'm just trying to spam the system with the words Epstein and Trump, because Trump specifically asked us to stop talking about Epstein.
So Epstein and Trump.
Everyone, Epstein, Trump. So I'm hoping that that when because they take the telecast or whatever they call from this, don't they?
It'd be funny if someone clipped that.
Yeah, Trump. So Epstein, Trump, Epstein. While she's technically in prison, she isn't exactly suffering, says Chrissy. She is a minimum security prison, which means more time out of cell and more opportunities to progress. 22 seconds, peeps.
I was going to say that we have to remember that, like, the MAGA folk are not a monolith of people. They're a coalition. Mm-hmm. And part of that coalition is crazy conspiracy nuts. And if those crazy conspiracy nuts think that Trump is part of the conspiracy, there's a good chance they'll turn on him. Because those people are incredibly online. They're fucking 4chan Redditors. They fucking bought into the QAnon stuff. They will turn on him if their, quote, evidence suggests that he's part of the conspiracy.
That's where sort of I disagree. I'd like to have a bet with you on that.
So the only wrinkle I'll put in that is with the Dan Bonginos and the Kash Patels in that, like, Kash Patel looks like he's passed his loyalty test. Like, they cracked the whip on him, and then he went back down and said, "Look, if there was a tape, I'd show you." But you said that there was a tape and that you were just trying to go through. Kash will go to the mat and lie. Dan Bongino was a believer. He thought that they were about to go in there, fucking crack open a big ass binder and start revealing and leaking shit all throughout the nation. And it was going to be great content and a great job. And he couldn't believe he had gotten so lucky. No, your job is to go in there, put on a fucking suit and lie. Go up there and say nothing happened. And it is pissing them off.
Before we go to Tim, 1 second. Other Tim Ballum has dropped a super chat in. Thank you so much. And also Kieran Crossan for the target, for the watch. Thank you very much for that. And Anne Phillips, thank you very much. And Tim again with another one. Thank you to Anne. OU has target. Here you go. And Tim, thank you very much for the £2 super chat there. Thank you very much to everyone. We didn't quite get the target in time, so you didn't get. I think you get confetti. I think if you get the target, the confetti comes up on the YouTube screen. But in the meantime, in lieu of that, I think I might have a little thing to say. Sorry, Mikey and Tim here. I'm just fucking around. There you go. Thank you. You're the best. Thank you to everyone who made it possible to hit the target, kind of. Brian Epstein and Judge Trump says that's somebody else. Yeah, Bob Wood said it. Another super chat from Greg. Thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Charlie Kirk is like an old school PDF file who you can always find film him hanging out outside the school. Yeah, he went on a tour of American universities. He's in his mid-30s, isn't he, Charlie Kirk? And he's going around trying to indoctrinate the youth of America.
Well, yeah, he runs Turning Point USA.
Yeah.
Mrs. Tons of Mice 4, the fourth wife, I'm guessing. Tinfoil hat moment. Maybe Elon has got hold of it via Doge. Oh my, wouldn't that be the sweetest loss for Trump if fucking Elon got a hold of that fucking shit and just started leaking it on Twitter?
Well,
that would be glorious.
Conspiracy corner then, right?
Let me get my
Let's say that Trump and Elon, their fallout from before, where Elon was like, hey, by the way, he's definitely in the Epstein files. Like he's named in there. Like he knows that because he's seen it and he's got it. And he's just waiting for the right moment to fucking drop that one.
To strike.
Why would he if his name's in it?
I don't think Elon cares about his... He wouldn't put his own name out there. He would put Trump out there for sure.
Yeah, but his name's in the list as well. There's pictures of him with Ghislaine Maxwell.
Whiteout exists for a reason.
I don't know that Elon's like the sex pest though, right? I don't think he would have been able to last this long if he had like sex pestry in his thing. Like, yeah, he loves to impregnate women by offering them like $1 billion and giving them a turkey baster. But I don't think he's in that like child ring of shit. I think he would actually go after, like he's into drugs and stealing ideas for inventions. I don't know if he's in like the kitty shit.
Yeah, but he's more of into making sure that like his genes move on in the population. Like he's way more concerned about having as many kids as possible.
He's a rich psychopath, and his dad married his 3-year-old stepdaughter. Now that she's 22,
you can't win them all.
It's true.
Well, you know, is genetically he is predisposed to being a nonce.
Wow,
his dad is.
Wow, eugenics much? Fucking, I didn't know you joined his team, Graham. Holy shit. He's genetically predisposed.
If you live by the sword of eugenics, you die by the sword of eugenics. Guy's a nonce. Put him away. Get rid of the nonce gene. That's not a
slippery slope. Hey, didn't your dad go to jail? Get in this alligator Auschwitz. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, I will say this, bring the conversation back to will MAGA like turn on Trump. I think if someone inside the administration comes out and says, yeah, there's definitely an Epstein client list and Trump's on it, like a Dan Bongino, if he fucking gets pissed enough and quits and says this is what's really going it'll be a problem for Trump.
Yeah.
I don't think Dan
Bongino's going to leave by himself though. Because if anything, he's going to live stream to fucking Alex Jones walking through the fucking halls or something. You know what I mean? It's not going to be like I just decided to resign and it was just like a heavy workload and I'm just going to spend some time with my family. Like, I don't think he's going to do no graceful thing. I am predicting flame out. And it's going to be flame outs from most of this cabinet is going to be flame outs. They're not professionals. They don't know what they're doing, and they're highly stressed right now.
By the way, in the latest win for Trump in the Supreme Court about an hour ago, they declared that they paved the way, they cleared the way for Trump to gut the education department, the federal education department. The justices lifted the federal judge's order that had reinstated nearly 1,400 workers affected by mass layoffs. So they're all going to be sacked now. And there you go. No more education.
Well, the funny thing is they were already fired and then they got rehired and now they're getting fired again.
Yeah, it's not very funny.
And then they're going to have to rehire them whilst paying them for not working.
Why are they going to have to rehire them now? The Supreme Court?
Because they're going to find out like, I didn't know that it was going to be this bad. Let me add them back. This is what they've been doing for every fucking department since this Doge shit started. They have been, and this is why they can't get people back into these industries, is because there isn't any fucking work security. They'll fire people, bring them back, and then fire them again, and then please come back, and then fire them, and then please bring them back. They don't want to do
nuclear weapons, though, is it? This is school teachers and stuff, and funding for schools and special needs students and rural schools. I mean, they don't give a fuck because they want kids to be thick as pig shit because then they grow up as Republicans.
Most of the people who work for the Department of Education are more administrators than teachers. Like they're people overseeing accreditation of schools and programs and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's not like they're firing teachers, but they are firing the people that do quality control for the teachers. Yeah.
So there'll be more child abuse, more children being raped, more children being murdered by their teachers and their peers. And you know, that's the sort of stuff that the Trump lot loved, isn't it? Dead children. Two school buses full of children die every week in America. That is just mind-blowing. Like, if one school child dies in a year over here, it's front-page news. We just don't tolerate it. But in America, it's like everyday news. It's not even in the news because it's so common. That blows my mind more than anything else. But yeah, they've done it now. Another one of Trump's wins through the Supreme Court. And
the Supreme Court's in the bag for Trump at this point.
Yeah,
so they just are.
He can issue all these executive orders. They'll be held up for a few months, but then it'll just go to the Supreme Court and he'll always win.
Yeah. I mean, the things that are actually like constitutional arguments, like the 14th Amendment, I think that they won't go his way on, and they've avoided doing it because they know they can't side with him on that. But
the birthright
all this other stuff.
Was that birthright citizenship?
Yeah, birthright citizenship, yeah.
I thought they already said on that it's called for Trump to deport people to South Sudan or something.
No, I mean,
it's not the same thing.
What the Supreme Court said for that one is that the injunctions of lower courts can't happen anymore because you can't have one judge ruling for the whole country on an injunction of an executive order. Only the Supreme Court can do that. And, you know, they limited the judicial branch's own authority, which is crazy. But, you know, they said that they can still do it through class action, and it's been done through class action now. But yeah, the Supreme Court is in the bag for Trump. Those 6 conservative justices are doing exactly what Trump wants them to do.
Yep.
And the 3 liberal justices can only write dissents.
Yep.
Like I'm looking through the story you're talking about, Graham, and Sonia Sotomayor, one of the liberal justices, said that the unilateral efforts to eliminate cabinet level agency established by Congress nearly half a century ago shouldn't be undone by the executive branch without the approval of Congress. That's how it's supposed to be done.
But it doesn't matter because that's it ruled now that's fine. She's a minority person. I think there's got to come a point where I think America's got to accept that the system's broken. I think we already accepted that over here a while ago because our system's fucked. But America seems even more fucked. I can't believe how much power one horrible...
You're getting a little quiet on me there, Graham.
I'm just saying it's amazing how much power one horrible fat little fucking orange twat has in America over 330 million people. It blows my mind.
And Jasmine Crockett just did what's that guy? Minaj?
Oh yeah, Hassan Minaj. Yeah.
Hassan Minaj. She just did an interview with him. Really good. And what the main crux of her conclusion was, this is the Republicans. The Republicans have every single tool to rein Trump in, and they are voting away their ability to stop him. They are literally sitting on their hands. They're not showing up to votes. That's whose fault this is. You know what I mean? And I know you think that there's going to be martial law and no midterms, but assuming that there are midterms, these are heavy costs to pay. Like how do you justify? I had it on another tab here. They got the tech, like the government tech agency. I forget what the acronym, OTI. They're going through the VA, and the VA is like, on what? How do you justify all these cuts? Because they're still cutting, by the way. Yeah. Doge is still cutting, still going after shit in the VAs. So like, how the hell do you think that you're going to be able to maintain care for these people when you're cutting out all of those. He's like, well, there's just so many redundancies, and it's really gonna be a streamlined budget, and we're gonna do more with less. They're closing the VAs. So like all of this bullshit and bluster and all this fancy talk is not gonna it's not gonna make it when it hits the streets. And if you don't have come on, trust me, bro, I got this Epstein card in the back pocket, that is political capital that he doesn't have. So Trump showing up to say, hey, I support Tim Bristol and he's gonna be the next representative out of here. What do you guys say? They're gonna be like, I bet he did go down to that island. You know what I mean? Like that's in the back of their head now. Whereas before he was like, and that's the guy who exposed all those dirty Democrats. Now he's part of the clique now. So the economy with these tariffs, the healthcare situation, the VAs closing up, all this shit coming to a head. And Elon's going to be doing whatever the fuck he's going to be trying to do to fucking make sure that everything Trump does fails from now on. Yeah, I don't know that I don't know that they might online support him, but I don't know if this is going to work again. Like they're not going to keep going for Trump candidates. The brand's fucked up. It's all tarnished.
I completely disagree on this.
Smear on it.
I completely disagree on this. I think he's still just as popular as ever. He's more popular at this point in his second term than he was in his first term.
Which is what percent?
It's minus minus 12. He was on minus 13. So 42% approve. 42% of Americans polled approve. 54% disapprove. 5% not sure. That is huge. I mean, like, I know Obama at this point was on plus 13. That's on the Economist website, on the Newsweek website. They've got Trump's net approval rating stands at minus 6.7. It's actually gone up since last week by 4 points, 0.4 points, with 44.7% of Americans approving and 51.4% disapproving. And I think this is the thing. He can he's already got away with murder. He's already got away with raping children. He's already got away with trying to overthrow the American government. There's nothing else left. There is no crime that this man can commit that will make his MAGA base turn on him. They absolutely love him. And we sit here thinking that we're very logical and very rational, but they're not. They're not. And we have to factor that in. I don't think it's going to make any difference. I don't think any of his people are going to leave. I'm sorry to be so cynical, but
but they got to vote.
Who?
His people.
Why?
They have to vote to keep Congress.
What, in the midterms?
That's not happening one way or the other. There's no way. The Republicans know they're not keeping Congress.
That's why they're trying to get everything done before the midterms. They're trying to get another 4 years of shit done in the year and a half before the midterms. That's why they're rushed on everything.
I don't think it's going to be midterms. Trump's going to sign an executive order to say we're not going to have midterms, and then there'll be no regional judges that can now say, yes, we have to have the midterms. And then it'll go to the Supreme Court, and they'll say, oh, yeah, well, Trump's got a good point. We can't have a midterm, and Clarence Thomas will ask for another Winnebago and go off on holiday. That's what I can see happening. I don't see what mechanism there is to stop that happening now. There's not even like a lower court that can stop it happening.
So on what? Okay, I'm not being a dick here, but I'm being honest here. What do you think that Trump can do to stop Illinois from having an election?
Just not take the results. It's a federal election.
Trump does not receive the results for elections. So you're talking about Congress doing something on behalf of. That's what I'm saying. Like you just say things, but it's like against the mechanisms. So that's why I'm just like, yes.
No, yeah, it goes to Congress. Congress has to certify elections.
Yeah, like that's not how it
certify
works.
Certify it so we don't have the election. Elections were suspended during the Civil War. It's happened before.
I'm in my yard having a birthday party, but you're saying that you're going to write a law saying that I'm not allowed to have a birthday party at my yard.
No,
but I'm going to do it even though you wrote it.
Executive power to do whatever I want because I'm king, and my paid for Supreme Court, of which I have a supermajority, will approve it no matter what I do.
But you
and no lower court can stop me now.
but you skipped all of the necessary steps for my question.
What are the necessary
I'm
steps?
having an election in my state to elect people in my state. And you're telling me that I cannot do that.
Yeah.
And I'm asking you, under what mechanism other than just saying I'm the president, I can do what I want? Like, I need you to like actually, so
the
someone will just show
order,
up to DC. So someone shows
well,
up to DC and then they just say, go away. You're not actually the representative.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Before we go on, thank you very much to Paul Ewan saying cut the VA and piss off combat vets with PTSD. Yeah, exactly. That's the only way I think Trump's going to leave the White House. But that's another story. When we're talking about this, he'll sign an executive memo, right? An executive order written for him by Project 2025, the fuckers at the Heritage Foundation, Federalist Society, whatever. And it'll say, we are suspending all state and federal elections in America for the foreseeable because of the emergency of whatever. It'll be trans kids playing sports, playing softball,
pause
whatever it is.
Pause right there. Pause right there. Pause right there.
Can I finish?
No, because I want you to pause right there.
Okay.
Because, like, according to you, then just like they're having issues right now trying to ban sanctuary cities because they say you're not allowed to do that. And Illinois protects Chicago and California protects LA. They're not allowed to tell us what to do. Like, we have a 10th Amendment that says we can do whatever we want.
Really?
So, yes.
Okay, how does that work in California when Gavin Newsom, the governor of that state, specifically said he didn't want troops going in?
Right. So you're saying they're going to send in federal troops to stop every single person
I'm saying that those bits of paper, that, you know, those conventions, those laws, those rules, they don't mean anything anymore. We've moved on. That was in the past, and now
so you're saying he's going to send federal troops in to stop every single American from voting?
They won't accept the results. You can hold your own
election.
Who
is they? That is
the federal government. The federal government will not accept the results.
It is Congress. That's what I'm saying. Like, you keep skipping over things and you go straight to federal government or the
Congress
executive branch.
Anymore?
But it goes back. Okay.
He can sign an executive order. Hang on, no. Let me just get out how this works, all right?
Okay.
I must be really confused, right?
Executive
as far
orders
as I'm
are not
aware,
laws.
that he can sign an executive order, and in the past, executive orders are not laws. You're right, and have a limited shelf life or whatever the rules are on that. But the reality is, he's like got his fucking genie out the lamp now, and he's got as many wishes as he wants. He can sign anything as an executive order. I don't think there's anything stopping him from invading another country or deploying the National Guard into a state if he wants to. There's nothing to stop him. But what used to happen until 2 weeks ago was that the state or lower court in a state could say, "Hey, we're not doing this," and there'll be a moratorium. It would be held. His executive order would be held until it got to the Supreme Court. Right now, that's not going to happen because one court can't stop his executive orders for the rest of the country.
Well,
they're not doing that. They're doing it for their own state. That's what I'm saying. Is that each one of these municipalities has sovereignty in itself. They each, like, it all trickles up into the grand umbrella of the federal American government or whatever, U.S. government. But I'm like, if my town wants to have an election to decide who's mayor, there ain't shit that the feds are going to be able to do to stop us from having an election to decide who we want to decide.
They don't care about a blue state having a mayor. That's not an issue to them. But they're not going to have federal midterms. It's just not going to happen. And the states that they allow people to have, there's going to be so much voter suppression if they do allow elections in certain states. They're going to rig it. They're going to rig the whole thing. I think. That's what, I don't see what's going to stop them. Except the Supreme Court, who's not going to stop them. Like, he's got too much power now. He's been powered up like fucking crazy. And you can say, oh, well, states have got sovereignty. I've got to say, mate, he can send troops into California against the express wishes of the state of California.
What are and I get that the fear mongering is fun, but I need you to understand what you're saying.
Sorry, did that not happen? Did that not happen? Was I imagining that?
Did I say you made that part up? What I'm saying is,
accusing me of fear mongering now.
You are fear mongering.
I just said what happened.
Lord have mercy. They sent troops to downtown, what was that? Not Palo Alto, Paramount. They sent the Marines down to Paramount. And what did the troops do? Go to sleep.
Whatever. But they weren't wanted.
You don't know.
It doesn't matter. What matters is they weren't wanted by the state, the sovereign state.
It does matter, dude.
That makes a mockery of the word sovereign. If Trump put a load of troops into the UK, we couldn't call ourselves a sovereign state anymore because we've just been invaded.
I think the terminology and the definitions of things are very important. He deployed troops to California. Yes or no?
Well, I think they were already there, but he federalized them or something. I think that's the process.
He federalized the National Guard to send them down, and then he deployed Marines, right?
Yeah.
Hexeth did.
Yeah.
He told Hexeth to do it.
Some alcoholic, yeah.
So, and then those troops were stationed at federal buildings to watch the building, right? Did they get orders to do anything past that?
No, don't think so.
Okay. So that's another hurdle that he has to cross, that you're just giving him outright.
Well,
and the reason giving them orders to attack Americans, that's an order that has to be given to them.
That's nothing to do with stopping the midterms. I'm talking about states not having enough sovereignty to say, I don't want this thing that the federal government is, well, no, not the federal government, Trump, specifically Trump and his drunken cronies, unelected drunken cabinet, are putting on us. And there's no defense against that by the looks of things, as the army can just turn up. But before we go on, we've got Tim Ballum with £5 super chat. Will a vet do a Rambo on MAGA? No, I don't think they will, because most of the vets, I think, are.
Here's the thing about executive orders. They are only affecting the executive branch of government. He cannot make executive orders over Congress or the judicial branch or the states. They can only affect his branch of government, which the military does fall under.
Okay, so you've got the military. What about
which all the executive agencies fall under, but he cannot say through executive order there's not going to be elections because they're all run by states. They're not run by the federal government.
So if he announces the Insurrection Act and then he mobilizes state militias all over not state militias, the National Guard all over the country, so they don't want people voting.
It won't go his way. It'll turn into civil war. That's what will happen.
No, it won't. Come on.
That's what will happen because some states will comply with it. They will. Some states won't.
I don't think everyone's
that's unbelievable. But him just having universal power to say no elections, that you believe will happen. But the fact that states
anyone will fight back, no. Otherwise, someone would have fought back by now.
And that's the difference between
one big.
Graham, if every American had your brain and your mentality on this, we would have never had a civil rights march. We would have never had a revolution. We would just be British still. Like, that is not Americans. And there's the element, the spice melange that is Americana that you do not add to the equations of your shit.
I know it does. Like, I get it. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it, Mikey.
I get it that Trumpers are stupid, but you got to understand.
You're making it sound like this is American exceptionalism. It can't happen here. That's what you keep saying is like, we've got these things that'll stop it from happening, Graham. And I'm like, I've seen this thing happen time and time again around the world. I saw it happen in our country with Brexit, where people absolutely fucking loved the idea of Brexit. It was a fucking disaster. The price of a pint of lager has gone up 3 times, threefold, and yet people still love the architects of Brexit.
Here's what in all reality would happen if Trump said no election, no midterm. Since elections are administered at the state level and then elections actually happen at like the municipal level, there will be a lot of voting that happens. Towns will run their elections, states will run their elections, and then all hell will break loose. Because if the president says, well, Congress isn't going to accept those results, well, there's going to be a lot of people in Congress who are going to have a problem with that. And there's going to be a lot of people in the states that voted that are going to have a problem with that. Trump doesn't have like unconditional authority over people. He has unconditional authority over the executive branch of government, not Congress, not the Supreme Court. Even if the Supreme Court backs him up, Congress will likely not, because the Republicans only have like a 3-vote majority in the House and a 3-vote majority in the Senate. There are clearly half of senators and half of House members who will be against it.
But who's going to stop him? How are they going to stop him? What's the mechanism for stopping him?
Revolution. That is
why
the
are you talking? Why are you talking to me about Congress then?
Because I'm not saying it necessarily has to be. It doesn't have to be a bloody coup. It could be a political revolution.
Yeah, of Congress. There's 538 members of Congress. Is that right?
538 plus territories.
Okay, that's not a lot of money to bribe every one of them. That's like peanuts for the Saudis or the Russian oligarchs. Just give them a few million each. Give them a nice penthouse.
Not every politician is bribable.
Every Republican politician is bribable.
Yeah, that's only half of them.
And what Mikey says, the Democrats is just as corrupt.
Don't try to bring in what Mikey says now. You don't listen to nothing else I fucking say.
I do. I'm listening and I'm responding to what you're saying, Mikey. You're saying that Mikey's stance, it seems to me, so I don't want to feel like I'm putting words in your mouth. Your stance is like the system won't allow it. And Tim's stance is, well, if that happens, there'll be a revolution.
No. See, that is a mischaracterization of my stance.
Okay,
my stance is the system has fail-safes. The system has many things. These are all of the. I am only going to talk about the legal and sanctioned ways of dealing things while talking on the air. There are millions of other ways that we can solve this problem, but I am not going to be irresponsible with my speech and talk about them.
Okay, so I'm specifically talking about.
I'm almost done. So when I have to discuss the options available, I have to discuss the options available because that is what a journalist must do in these situations. Okay,
so what are they? What can
did you just hear what?
Given my scenario, you just said they won't let them. You said whoever they is, won't let him.
Oh, God.
So just explain it to me like I'm an idiot, because I obviously am.
The states. Consider the states a fourth branch of government, effectively.
Okay.
They have their own governments. Each state has their own legislature, their own governor, their own courts.
But they can't stop you can't stop Trump deploying troops into their state. Can they?
No one can stop that.
All right, go on.
But that's a last resort for him as well.
It seemed like a trial run, what he did in California. That seemed very, very much like a trial run. Right,
and it was, but did you see how the people of California reacted?
Yeah, they stayed home, stopped rioting.
No, that's not what happened. Oh. They didn't stay home. Who stayed home?
I thought it just kind of dissipated.
Anyway, we're shifting goalposts here.
Did I miss the revolution? Did I sleep through the revolution?
The states' governments are just as powerful as the federal government, according to the Constitution. When it comes to elections, they have more power than the federal government. The only thing Congress does is certify elections. The judicial branch has no role in elections. Trump has no role in elections.
Yes, he should have.
So for him to issue an executive order saying there's not going to be elections is meaningless.
And you're assuming that the red states would just be like, yeah, no elections.
They have their own elections to run, not just federal elections. There's state and local elections to be run as well.
Yeah, okay, he might allow them, but as far as Congress is concerned, I think they're either going to win the midterms by a mile because it's going to rig the whole system, or he's just going to say, no, we're not going to accept the results. This is the man who had a slate of fake electors go to Washington with a bunch of black votes. This is the guy who called up the governor of Georgia and said, I need to find 11,870 votes or whatever it was. This is the man who gives no flying fucks about...
And he gave it to him, right?
He gave him all those votes, right?
He didn't. But he had these plans
and
he got away with it.
Americans have no spine. Like, this is what I don't understand. Like, at the same...
because he's got rid of all them. Like, he's got rid of all the people who went MAGA out of the Republican Party.
So whilst people resist, you say there is not enough resistance. Or there isn't a resistance at all.
I mean, something might happen after the midterms. I don't know. And I'm not going to predict what the people of America do. They do seem a bit more docile than they think they are, but whatever. But I think in terms of what Congress will do, no matter what mad shit Trump pulls. I mean, he's been talking about invading his neighbors. He's been talking about doing the maddest shit imaginable. And no one stopped him. No one's reined him in. He's just kept on doing it.
stopped him
Mostly
from
what Trump has said is he hasn't done. He's a big fucking pussy when it comes to that stuff.
word.
Has he invaded Canada or Mexico?
No.
Oh,
He's got
has
no
he even
intention
kept
of it.
the tariffs on Canada or Mexico?
When he says, I'm going to do this, it's not Congress that stops him. It's himself, because he forgets what he did yesterday, because he's got the mind of a fucking goldfish.
Right. What makes you think he has the mental capacity to sustain any sort of effort?
I don't think he has, but if Project 2025 people put a executive order in front of him, he can sign it. No court in the land can now stop him, except for the Supreme Court, and he owns the Supreme Court.
But
do you see the
Constitution
catch-22?
Wait a minute.
2025 says there's not going to be midterm elections.
Sorry?
And also, why do we have to listen to the courts?
What,
Yeah,
to the Supreme Court?
We stopped listening to the
Why?
courts before the Civil War.
Because they're the people who run the administration for the.
So
sorry,
what?
they don't run the administration.
Trump doesn't have to follow the rules. Why should we?
The legal apparatus of America, the interpretation of the laws of America, is carried out by the Supreme Court. So once they make a declaration, it becomes that's the new interpretation of the law.
Says them.
Says
Yeah,
the Supreme
what if we just
Court.
don't- and then we just won't do it.
You know the
Well,
orders
you
they
might
were
not, and
issuing-
Tim might not, but I'm talking about who is going to stop Trump? You two can't stop Trump. I can't stop Trump.
Well, not
Even
with
the
that
chat
attitude.
No, that's the only attitude to have, is that there is no hope and never resist, because resistance is ultimately futile. So
I'd love
just
to
save
see
your
more
gasoline.
resistance. I'd love to see more resistance.
You're not used to the resistance that is happening over here, because you have to remember, whilst everyone's having these great conversations about how to resist, we have to actively resist against what everyone is calling a tyrannical government. So if things are not looking the way that you want them to look, it's because they have to be done in a certain way. We can't just come out and say whatever we want to say. We can't just organize and say and do things like Trumpers do. Trumpers should go to jail for the stuff that they say and do and organize. And some of them are getting locked up for it. So
Are they? I thought they all got out.
But
I thought they all got released.
and they went right back. Like, most of them are back in jail already. Or getting jobs at the DOJ, like the guy who's like, come, that guy's at the DOJ now. But all those, let's consider a group of people that's not me, that's not Tim, that's not you. All of the fired FBI workers.
Yeah.
You think they're just gonna? I mean, they most of them skew towards the right. I think that's fair to say. Do you think they're just like lining up to do whatever Trump says?
Yes.
Or do you think they're going to passively resist?
I think they're just going to do whatever they're told.
And that I think is the problem, because
I think these are people without any kind of moral backbone or agency, or I don't.
But that's a character. But that's a caricature of Americans that you still hold without knowing.
Not all Americans, not all Americans, but the ones who support Trump, yes. Mikey,
So
they've let him get away with
30%?
murder, and then they've rewarded him with the presidency of the United States. He killed 9
The
people.
voters of America did not do that. You keep saying that, but it is the corrupt bullshit bipole duopoly that we have in American politics that did that.
Well,
So when you reflexively put that onto the American people, like they did that, you're wrong. You're wrong in your assertion.
Well, the
We did
majority
not
of the people
do
who
this.
voted in that election voted for Trump to come
It
back.
is not the majority, it's the plurality.
was a
Like,
plurality.
this is
He
the
didn't
thing
get
I'm trying to
50%.
tell it. Like, you can't just keep saying things that aren't the case. A majority of people did not vote for Trump. Do you agree with that?
It was 49.7% or something, wasn't it? It was very, very
Do
close
you
to 50%.
agree with that?
He got more votes than Kamala Harris.
That wasn't the question.
at
That wasn't the
popular
question.
votes.
Do you agree that he did not win by majority?
Technically speaking, yes.
Thank you. By
But
the definition
does
of
that
the word.
matter in a first past the post system?
But it matters in how you cover things. But because when people continually say a majority of people, that's just like Trump saying, I have a mandate.
Well,
No,
he does
you
have a
don't.
mandate. According to your system, he's the president of the United States of America, even
That's
though he
not what
lied, he
mandate
cheated.
means. I'm gonna have to explain mandate to
Entire
you now.
districts
Like, that's
did
what
not
that
vote a single vote towards
Just
Kamala, which is
because he
mind-blowing.
said he has a mandate doesn't mean he actually has one. He won by the slimmest majority in the last 30 years.
What, he won by a slimmer majority than he did when he lost the popular vote?
Yes.
Well, hang on, sorry, How does that maths work? Because
I told you everybody on the left stayed home.
In 2016, he lost the popular vote, but he won the electoral college. This time he won the popular vote.
Yeah, but by the slimmest majority.
Right.
Not in a percentage terms. In a
percentage
fewer
term.
people voted for him.
Both. Yeah. There was less people at this election, and he won by a tighter squeeze.
Okay, so it was a smaller percentage of the population that voted for him, but
and it was a closer margin.
But he didn't win the popular vote last time. He won. This time he did win the popular vote. So how could that be less?
How can because he didn't win by a majority because there was still enough votes from third party people and the Democrats to make sure that he didn't get the 50+1. So
he's got more votes than his nearest opposition.
Trump got 48% of the vote in 2016.
2016.
Because there were 2 third-party candidates.
Okay, and what did he get in 2022? Sorry, 2024? 49%.
49%.
Okay, so that's more. That's 1% more.
Say what?
It's 1% more, but the margin of his loss is less. Like the margin of his victory is less.
So he lost by more in the last one than he won in this one.
He won by 2% in 2016. He won by less than 1% in 2024.
Of the electoral college or the vote?
No, the popular vote.
He didn't win the popular vote in 2016.
Right.
More people voted for Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
Oh, you are correct. I am incorrect. Hillary Clinton got 48. Trump got 46.
Okay. Chris, thank you very much for the super chat, mate. £5. The date is set by Congress and elections are administered by the state. The president has no role in setting election day or moving it. You are quite correct, Chris. Thank you. But SG has a question. What happens to elections if Trump starts a war and declares an emergency?
Oh, but Graham, before we finish, my statement is still correct because Trump won by 2%. That's a greater majority than the percent he won by this time.
Plurality.
No, he lost the popular vote by 2% last time.
Yes, okay. Hillary Clinton won by a greater percentage than Trump won by this time.
Yes.
So my statement is still correct about him winning the slimmest majority.
Tim Ballin with a 5. The British pound super chat. MAGA Congress will accept whatever Trump tells them to, which is why we will remove them.
Question about sanity. Thank you very much for the super chat. All it takes to lose power is the troops saying no. They're not allowed to. Legally, they're not allowed to.
I mean, they can refuse an illegal order. That is true.
An illegal order. But the Supreme Court will make it legal after the fact sometimes, and they can just release 1,500 people from jail for committing horrific crimes.
That wasn't the Supreme Court. That was Trump.
Okay, better. He doesn't even have to go to the Supreme Court. He can just say, "Oh, you know what? If you shoot some civilians, I'll pardon you all. I'll give you all a preemptive pardon for no matter how many civilians you kill." And he can. And there's literally no mechanism to stop him doing that.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but a lot of Americans have guns.
No legal mechanism. Okay, so
again, a lot of Americans have guns, so just randomly killing Americans might be a bad look and probably pretty dangerous.
Well, if he kills the right
guns
ones,
than people here.
Yeah, but if he kills the people that people don't like, I mean, well, the MAGA lot. SG's question:
how do you know?
What happens? The question is, what happens if Trump starts a war and declares an emergency? What happens to the elections then?
Start a war with who?
Mexico, Canada, Greenland.
We've had elections through all sorts of wars.
Not the Civil War.
Right. That was the country at war with itself.
Yeah.
I mean, who would vote?
Right. Who would be voting then?
Yeah. I'm voting for this country. Wait, no, the separate country. Okay, the country that broke off the country.
He declares war on a country, Iran, whatever, and he declares an emergency. In that situation... No, does he? Does he though?
Yeah.
Is that the actual legalist?
He can do strikes, but he can't start a war.
Yeah, only Congress can declare wars legally.
And how much of a majority do you need in the Congress?
Simple.
A simple majority in Congress.
Yeah.
50+1.
Which he has at the moment.
Right, but there's a lot of anti-war Republicans out there.
There were a lot of anti-big beautiful bill Republicans until a week ago, and then they all turned around.
Well, that's what I'm.
This is great.
But this is kind of where my not so much optimism, but my rule following comes in. Make them do it. Run it through Congress. Get out in front of the fucking people and say, I'm going to put you guys into another 20 years of fucking PTSD, 19 and 20-year-olds. Go ahead and go up there and say it. If we're going to have to suffer the consequences of these morons and their fucking decisions, get out in front and tell the people.
Yeah.
Well, tell the people.
But the stupid old fucks who vote for Donald Trump, I mean, they don't care. They're not going to go off for war.
Not if you got a fucking, not if you got a 20-year-old at home.
Yeah, but they hate their children. That's why they vote for Trump.
See, you just say they hate their children. Like, this is I can't all the way engage with you when you just throw shit away like that. But these people are legitimately worried about sending their kids to the desert to go die or to get blown up or to come back as an amputee. Tons of my friends deployed. Yeah. I was on my way until I found out I couldn't fly a jet because I have glasses. But I did ROTC and I did that whole thing. Like, America changed after 9/11. People worry about their sons going to war and joining up and all that stuff. And they are doing, and they have been doing for the last decade, everything they can to keep their kids out of the military. Unless they have like some legacy kind of like, oh, me and my granddad and my granddad's granddad, and we all flew the same kind of plane. Like, if they have like some sort of like legacy with the military, that's cool. Other than that, they are doing everything they can to keep their kids from going over to because they saw how they're treated when they get back. They treat them like shit. The fucking VA line with the best hospitals in the world, the VA line's like 7 to 10 months or it might be years. It took my buddy almost 6 years to get his compensation from the VA because they refused to help him out with his paperwork and get shit sorted and all that stuff. Right now, they're having the hearing. They're going to put AI in charge of all that shit. All of these contracts and all that stuff, they got an AI guy who's going to come in and he's going to go through 90,000 contracts in 30 days. And he's going to find all the waste, fraud, and abuse. I
think we drifted off the subject here a bit, but like, I don't see why Americans...
They're not sending their kids to the Middle East again.
Okay, I'll tell you what's going to happen. I'll look into my crystal bollocks. Hang on. There's going to be a massive terrorist attack on America because of all your cybersecurity's been hacked for the CIA, and that's all been given now to the Russians and the Saudis and countries that fucking hate America. And there's going to be a big, massive fucking attack, possibly in a blue state, because you don't want to kill too many MAGA voters, and thousands of Americans will die. Trump will use that as a pretext to go to war. You'll have the rally round the flag effect. It'll happen just before the midterms, and if he's looking at the polling and it's not looking great, he will suspend elections because America is under attack, and which is what happened in 2001, and not with the suspension of the midterms, but what did happen was they activated Article 5 of the NATO treaty to say America has been attacked, and we, Britain, had to send troops to go and help with America in Afghanistan. And a good friend of mine who was deployed over there, he watched his friends die and getting blown up by a fucking improvised explosion at the side of the fucking road while he was watching them from a nearby fucking building, and he had to watch that. And he's still got fucking PTSD to this day. And that was to support America because they had been attacked by Saudi Arabia. But, we're not going to invade Saudi Arabia for attacking America on 9/11. We're going to invade Afghanistan instead. And so, this has all been done before, and everything that Trump has done so far just seems to be a trial run for something else in the future. And I think this is the point where we are now, where he will try his best to stop midterms. And I agree with both of you that there are super judicial ways, is that the right way of saying it, of stopping him? Extrajudicial ways of stopping him. I'm just saying I can't see any legal or political way of stopping this fucking lunatic at the moment because the American system isn't robust enough to deal with a fucking lunatic.
Tim Ballum with 2 British pounds, bone spurs. It's all caps.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, on top of all of this, there's another layer of America first, where everything's supposed to be getting cheaper and better, and we're only going to spend money here.
And we're not supposed to go to war.
He promised no wars, and then he immediately struck.
There's a massive attack. What do you think's going to happen? Come on. There's a massive attack on America, and thousands of people die. Thousands of Americans are attacked by an Iranian group. Do you think you're not going to go to war against Iran? Come on.
To do what? What? Conquer Iran?
Conquer Iran? Forget revenge?
Okay.
Rally round the flag? You know.
Hey, you just recanted a tale about your friend and their PTSD.
Yeah.
Times 100,000 over here for all the different families who are exactly the same way. So when you say let's go into so when Hegseth says we're going to go into Iran, everyone says, "Hey, Junior, sit your little dumb ass down. You're not going to the military anymore."
That didn't happen after Vietnam, and that was a bigger shit fight than anywhere. That was a much bigger shit fight.
That was also 70
Iraq
years ago.
Yeah, but it was their generation in the 1990s who went into the first Gulf War. It was their kids. It was the children of the Vietnam generation who were then 20 years old or thereabouts who would be going to Gulf War.
I mean, I'm almost 40. So if I had Kira like when everybody else had kids early, like around 20, 25, like that child is now that age. So the kids who went through 9/11, went through Iraq and Afghanistan, it's our kids that are now the ones slated to go out there. Ain't nobody finna send their kids out there after we just saw them waste all that time, treasure, and people. Like that. This America First thing resonated because people saw, and even still, Trump is talking about how awful Biden did it in the pullout of Afghanistan. That's a casual statement made in the nuance that we all went through that. We were all there for it. We were all getting the reports every day.
Frank F says they're prepared to allow their children to lose their medical care. Yeah. They're also prepared for the children to lose their education and also to lose their lives to, spree shooters. But
most people aren't prepared to let their kids lose their medical care or their education. Like it's the 30% of people who voted for Trump. It's not everyone. Everyone is generally pissed off about that.
I don't disagree, but the 30% is not everyone, but 70% isn't everyone either.
Well, and it's also like they didn't vote for that specifically. They voted for the representatives who voted for that. Like there is the Republicans are going to have a problem next year.
But they're going to have still getting a 42% approval rate. And the Democrats have got like 27% approval at the moment.
None of that transfers to the Republican Party as a whole.
But
Congress
I don't think the party
is among the most disliked organizations in the world.
But I was going to say, America's got the biggest military of anywhere in the world. It is fucking huge. It's like, what was it, 4 cents out of every 10 cents you spent on tax goes into the army or something?
It's $1 trillion now.
Absolutely fucking immense amount of money goes into the military. And if you're in the military, you get free healthcare. And also you can get yourself an education, which you can't do now if you're working class in America because there's no handouts anymore. And those things are just way too expensive for people to be able to afford.
Well, and we also figured out that getting that degree didn't do much for us. So
yeah. So if you want to, if you're growing up in a poor area in America or in a poor family, I mean, the military is still a very attractive option. I think.
It's an attractive.
I'm not saying it's everyone in America is like this. It doesn't have to be. It only has to be 33% of the population to allow Trump to get his shit through, whatever the mad shit he wants to do.
And that all sounds attractive, right? Until a war kicks off, and then it's like, oh, I would not like to have a college education anymore. I have changed my mind. Like if I'm just gonna be like sitting around the base, driving around, training people and doing shit like that, yeah, sure. Who doesn't want to join the military and get like a free like $200,000 worth of degrees and shit like that? Sure, why not? 6 years, whatever. I don't care. I'll get in shape. Until the fucking there might be an administration that's gonna send your ass abroad. And then motherfuckers are doing that fucking calculus, like, you know what? Maybe junior college is best for me. like it's got to be like
school.
The whole point of it being worth it is that you don't actually get deployed. Like if you get deployed, it is no longer worth it, and now the country owes you. Like either like you want to be in, but you also don't want to literally go out and fight. You're there to improve yourself. That's what everyone's been using the military for.
I get
this giant.
I get that we can sit
bloodthirsty barbarian
and look at this in an objective way, but I think people are just more emotional and more emotionally led, And I think that if someone's in the army and America suffers a major terrorist attack in which thousands of Americans die on live TV, streamed on every fucking news service in the world, they'll be like, oh shit, we've got to get the people who did this, which is exactly what happened in 9/11. And it was like, who did this to us? It was the Saudi Arabians. Okay, quick, let's invade Iraq. It was just
right.
like,
but those people are still alive who fell for it the first time. Like, there are way more anti-war Republicans post 9/11 than pre 9/11, or post Iraq and Afghanistan. There's a lot more anti-war, but like Marjorie Taylor Greene is an anti-war Republican.
Yeah, that's true. She was gonna bring him up on some stuff over the Iran thing if it was more than just that one attack. Like she was against the one attack, and she wasn't the only one.
Like, they're dead serious about this America First shit. I want to get my bigotry out. I want to get all the brown people out, and I want all the money to go to me. No more money defending Europe, which is the other part of that. Like, you're saying it like, oh, well, these people, like Hegseth doesn't want to help y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's really wanting to pull all the money out of Ukraine and just, fucking like, let's all just go to the base and kick it. Like, that's his fucking thing. Like, they don't want to help the rest of the world. So if there's going to be any kind of strike or any kind of retaliatory something, good luck. They said America first, and if the bad guys are not in America, I don't see them signing up. They're not deploying anywhere. Too many horror stories, man. Too many horror stories. They ain't gonna go.
I respectfully disagree. I think that that's their job. That's what they signed up for. And if they're told to go to a foreign theatre of war, then that's what they signed up for. And if they say no, I'm not going, then they'll get done for dereliction of duty. They'll be dishonorably discharged, and they'll be treated even worse than veterans who had an honourable discharge. I just can't see it, mate. I think that we are in danger of bringing bringing rationality to a bun fight of irrationality.
You ever played like a Clash of Clans or something like that?
Clash of Clans.
Or like Clash Royale, like these games where you like drop a little troop and then it has like a prescribed way that it interacts, and then it'll go and fight this guy. I can't predict the future, but I do know what kind of pieces all these, or even a chessboard. I do know what kind of pieces these are, and I know how each piece moves. So I may not be able to predict the end of the game, but I can get a pretty accurate of what the score is and who's got the advantage. He does not have the advantage by taking away all these VA cuts, and then what are you going to do? Start another war? Yeah, and that'll be great.
The VA left the army.
The VA has left the army.
The people in the VA, they've left the army, haven't they? It's veterans. It's people who were in the army, but they're not in the army anymore.
Not entirely. Right? They could still be veterans, but they can be like reserves.
Yeah, there's like,
they wouldn't be.
I think 40% of the 40 or 50% of the VA is vets that work there. I mean, like I hear what you're saying, but I'm looking at the value of each one of those chess pieces. Okay. It does not work out for him.
We've got a super chat come in from Question About Sanity on that very point. Starting salary for a doctor in the NHS is 34,000. Starting salary for a doctor in the army is 66,000.
Why are y'all paying the doctor so little? Our doctors are banking.
Our doctors get paid way too much, Mikey.
Way too much.
That's why so many of you
they should get that much.
Yeah.
But all the rest of the hospital
inhaler.
But all the rest of the hospital should get paid too.
Yeah. Blue Badge says, I remember when I was a teen, I was looking at the US Army. I saw the attacks on TV. I was okay with going until we got to Iraq when the UK medics were hung on the bridge. I was sure. I was less sure then. No WMD. No weapons of mass destruction. I mean, like I say, it could have been anywhere. If someone attacks America, they don't really care who it's going to be. They'll pick a country. They'll throw a dartboard at a map of the Middle East and go, right, that's it. We're invading Libya. We're invading Syria. Right, that's it. Yemen. We're going to kick your ass.
In 9/11, you have to remember that was the birth of the 24-hour news cycle. You got your news at 7 or 10, and that was it. 5, 7, and 10. That's when all the news broadcasts, and they would just loop the same thing from earlier and maybe add something, and they came. The age of information we're at now you can't hoodwink people into just joining the service and then you can just or launching a thing or you know what I'm saying? Like people are way too well informed about the individual actors now. Like I guarantee you, if we would have polled back in 2001, if motherfuckers could find Iran on a map or Israel or anywhere, like they had no knowledge of what the fuck was going on over there.
They didn't know when Afghanistan was in 2011, but then they didn't know where fucking Benghazi was. They didn't know where Libya was.
No.
And yet they still screamed it every time Hillary Clinton's name was mentioned. It doesn't matter, Mikey.
So if Benghazi or Libya comes up again, they're going to have not the repeat response, but a response with the information of the previous encounter. And with the information of the previous encounter of sending troops over to the Middle East, even the Republicans are like, nah, dog, we're doing America first. No, we good. Europe, kick in some more money because we're not doing it anymore.
I think in a case
to launch a strike just to stop the midterms when people already don't like war, I don't know that helps.
I think that in the case of getting involved in Ukraine or Gaza or bombing Iran, I can definitely see that because America hasn't been attacked. I think if America gets attacked, that'll change everything and make Trump, who is already superpowered compared with every other president you've ever had, it's going to make him more even superpowered. Like he'll be able to do whatever the fuck he wants. And he'll get a lot of the wavering voters who, don't know whether they really like him or not because he is a fucking massive nonce. They're going to look at it and go, well, America's under attack. Got to rally around the leader at a time of war. And you'll get you'll get Democrats saying, oh, you got to rally around, you got to support your leader in a time of war.
Leave Chuck Schumer out of this.
No, but this is what happened.
Leave John Fetterman out of this.
In 2001, look, Bush was the unexpected president. He didn't expect it to win. He didn't expect to win that election. No one expected him to win. And he did. And he was fucking useless. He spent most of his time at the golf course. And his approval rating was shite at that. Well, he's only shite as Trump, but it was pretty shite. And then September the 11th happened. It went up to like 87% or something fucking crazy because America had been attacked. And my fear is that same thing will happen and people will fall into the same trap again of going, well, America's under attack. You've got to rally around your leader in a time of war.
Yeah, but Bush was a likable person. Like, Trump isn't.
Well, he's not. We don't like him. We fucking hate him. We wish he wasn't here.
Right. People generally thought Bush was either benign or they liked him. Like that was the general, like you could have a beer with him. That was his whole campaign.
Yeah.
Like he was affable. Trump is not affable. You can't have a beer with him because he's an asshole.
Right.
Like I don't think the rally around the flag effect would be so strong around Trump because generally the generals don't fucking like his ass.
and the rally around the flag is really like the flag is a symbol of the federal government. MAGA hates the federal government. Every piece and single part of it. They don't think of the military as part of it.
They don't think of Trump as part of it.
Right. You see what this is the rub. So when big government says, "Hey, we're going to war again."
No, we won't be them.
You said
it'll be Trump. He'll make a speech about getting electrocuted with a shark or something, and then he'll say, "Oh, we've got to do this."
To a crowd of dozens, maybe the same crowd from his awesome birthday parade. All 13 people in the rain.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We were laughing at the Brexiters marching along from fucking Sunderland. Only about 19 people turned up. It was so
that's who's going to be.
They still got their Brexit.
That's who's going to get deployed. The 13 people at that parade.
SG, thank you very much for the super chat. Unfortunately, it seems to me that Mikey and Tim are hoping for MAGA Trump cabinet Republicans to implode as a solution to what is happening in the US, and that is never going to happen. I can't see them imploding. I think if
everyone forgot the whole first term, he had 10 secretaries of defense. Yeah. 10. He had 5 secretaries of state.
Yeah.
He had 7 press secretaries.
Yeah.
These people are just the first generation of this term.
Yeah, this is the first layer of the onion. It'll get stinkier the more we go down.
He nearly won the 2020 election, and he did win the 2024 election. I don't see what your point is. Like, yeah, you can go.
No, my point is that the turnover in his administration is 400% of every other administration. It is going to implode. It is a certainty.
I don't think it will. I don't think.
Did you think the last one was going to?
No, I didn't.
But
Well,
it did
3 times.
What? Well, he still nearly won the election, and then he won in 2024.
I
think he would have won the election had it not been for COVID.
Graham, I think you did. I think maybe you got distracted for a second. There is no way you just disagreed with what Tim said. There's no way you just you agreed to every single part, and then you said A plus B plus C does not equal D. But you just agreed that it did.
We were talking about the
cabinet
MAGA imploding. I don't think MAGA will implode.
He said the cabinet, and we were talking about how there's rollover in the cabinet.
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
Right, but that's the first time. He had.
I think he lost because of COVID.
He had an entire agenda. He had an entire agenda in the first term, in the first year, and it fell apart in 100 days. Now, it hasn't fallen apart yet, but it's only 170 days.
Feels like 170 years. Yep, he knows what he's doing this time. He didn't really expect to win last time.
It was infrastructure week for 5 weeks in a row, and it never happened, is what I'm talking about. He has no plan.
But his mates at the Heritage Foundation have been prepping for this moment for years.
Until those people get fired.
No, he got some more people.
But they won't be the same people. There won't be continuity.
It's not like they're all Nobel Prize winners. They're fucking second-rate hosts on a weekend show on Fox
So then
News.
You're agreeing with us that it's imploding from the inside. That's what we're saying. But I'm
saying it doesn't matter. I'm saying that his cabinet doesn't matter. You can put anyone in those positions. They're going to be just as useless, just as incompetent. All that matters is he has the power to have executive orders that can't be challenged by American courts, except for the Supreme Court, which he owns. And he can pardon anyone for doing any federal crimes. So he can tell his troops to go and shoot civilians and then he'll let them off, which is exactly what he did on the January the 6th rioters who murdered American citizens, American cops, and he's let them off.
Americans are murdered every day. We're kind of numb to that. I know that's a big deal over there, but people die over here a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Tim, thank you very much for the £5 super chat, which is going to have to be the last one of the night because I just got a disapproving look from the missus. The revolution won't be televised in the US because of the ownership of the news channels. Yeah, Tim, couldn't agree more. So there you go. But yeah, I think there is hope that America, the people of America, will sort this out, or the other option that I can see is Trump stops, or someone stops Trump. I can't see a legal or political way of getting out of this quagmire at the moment. I just can't see it.
Well, you insert fail safes and pitfalls without evidence, and then when I ask you for the evidence, you say, "Of course it's going to happen because he always does this." And I'm like,
"You're doing the same. You're saying it won't happen," and I'm going, "Why won't it happen?" You're saying because it just won't. Americans won't allow it. People won't go to war. People won't sign up for the army with no evidence whatsoever.
But they had to lower their goal for recruitment to say that they hit their goal.
Yeah. So
that's not a wave of people jumping into Trump's army. Right?
Oh, not at the moment, but I'm saying if a terrorist attack happens on America, they will. People will sign up. Young people who can't remember 9/11. We're in 2025 now. There is a whole cohort of young people who do not remember 9/11.
That's what I said. And their parents are going to be like, "You're fucking stupid. Sit your ass down."
And they're going to listen to their parents. Have you met teenagers?
Yeah. Have you met modern teenagers? They are completely incapable of independent thought. They are not us. We were wild stallions dancing in the field. These kids are lame.
They'll join the army if they can be influencers in the army.
Right. Maybe. Only if they can live stream.
I don't know. I mean, it might not be a big terrorist attack. It might be someone tries to have a pop at Trump and
we just had a terrorist.
We had that.
We just had a terrorist attack where 2 fucking Minnesota fucking lawmakers were shot and killed.
Yeah, but that wasn't Trump, was it?
Well, they jumped into the army to defend us from a domestic terrorist. No, they did not.
No, not
but at the same time, you're calling them incredibly lazy, but they're also extremely motivated for Trump. And I'm just saying they're just lazy in general. They like to talk loud about Trump, but they don't do a ton. So then we go over to the congressional side, and I'm saying, "Oh, we'll do things through Congress." And you're like, "Oh, well, there won't be a Congress."
No, I'm not saying there won't be a Congress. I'm saying it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like he can. What's the mechanism to stop him signing an executive order to do whatever the fuck he wants, right? Let's say he's going to make all lollipops 5p, right?
Constitution.
What's to stop? Yeah, but who interprets the Constitution, Tim?
Who
ultimately?
Who uses the Constitution to write laws to rein in the federal
this
government?
isn't a law. This is a executive order.
You're missing what I'm saying.
You're talking about laws that are going to go through Congress and they have to be signed by the president. Come on.
Unless read the rest or finish the rest of the fucking Schoolhouse Rock. So it can still go back to Congress and still. And then what?
How? And what's the mechanism for that? A supermajority, is it?
Right. 2/3 vote.
Oh, supermajority. Okay, not gonna happen.
Yeah. Okay.
But the president can't just make laws.
I'm not saying he's making laws. I'm saying he's doing executive orders. And in the past, judges could say, I feel like we're going around in circles here. What is to stop him doing an executive order to say every lamppost has to be painted orange in America, right? Every lamppost painted orange. And then a smaller court down in fucking Tallahassee or something says, we don't want to do this. We want to have a nationwide moratorium on painting things orange until this goes to the Supreme Court. They can't do that anymore. They'll take it to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court will go, well, we're in the pay of the Heritage Foundation. We'll do whatever Trump wants us to do. We have a massive supermajority.
The Supreme Court has also ruled against Trump numerous times. It's not just like they are in the bag for Trump, but they also don't want to seem like they're just fucking off the rails. So that birthright citizenship ruling was not about birthright citizenship on purpose, because they know if they rule on birthright citizenship, it won't be in Trump's favor.
Right. They're
playing a game.
Screening. They're covering for him.
They seem to be, out of every 10 things that go to the Supreme Court in the last few years, they've ruled in Trump's favor.
Right, but there's 100 things they don't even take up. They say, okay, the lower courts ruled on this. We're not even going to look at it.
Yeah, but now the lower courts can't vote on it.
So those should count as victories, but you don't count them as victories. You just count them as, they didn't count.
Before, the lower courts could block it nationwide. Whatever the executive order was, they could block it nationwide. So we don't feel this is constitutional. That can't happen anymore. The Supreme Court
they can still do that. They can still do that. There's just a different way to get to it. It's harder now.
Right.
What's the way to get a nationwide injunction?
You need a class action suit, or you need multiple states suing the federal government, which is already happening.
And as far as I'm aware, the class action suits are just for the people doing the class action.
No, they count for everyone. If like for example, birthright citizenship got a class action suit, and now the birthright citizenship thing is on hold again for the whole country.
Okay.
So there are still ways that lower courts can do injunctions. It's just not the straightforward way they were doing them before.
So the birthright citizenship thing went to the Supreme Court, right?
And they kicked it back down.
Right.
It's going to have to go to the Supreme Court again.
Right. Okay. And they'll probably just fudge it or something like that.
Well, that's what they've been doing. With the really important stuff, they're fudging it. They're not tackling it because they know constitutionally the 14th Amendment is very clear. It can't be more clear than it is. It's not like the Second Amendment.
But painting the lamppost, that's not an amendment situation, is it? That's not a constitutional amendment.
Right. But
so hold on, let me jump in about the painting the lamppost thing. So let's say Trump does that and there's a lamppost right in front of my house and I don't paint it orange. Then what happens?
What's it got to do with you?
Yeah, go with the thing. I'm trying to do I'm going with your example. So what happens when people don't paint the lamppost orange?
Well, it would be, we'll have an army corps going to every state and painting them all orange. No one can stop him putting his army people into their states to go and do the thing that he wants them to go and do.
And that's my point. I'm not acquiescing shit to him. Make them do it. Make them go out in front of the people and say, and look at a fucking tank out here to paint a pole. Yeah. Waste the money. Do what you need to. The plan is to force their hand to break said laws, to trigger what needs to happen. To look at him, he's so funny. To make the next step happen.
But what law would he be breaking, Mikey?
If he wants to step into our state and try to force us to do things based on his thing, then we have every right to resist him.
I don't think you do. I don't think you got legal leg to stand on. It's an executive order.
Right.
Well, he doesn't have a legal leg to stand on. It's an executive order. It only affects the executive branch.
Which does not control my light pole. So you need to stop trespassing on my light pole. Are you standing on my property?
my light pole is under the jurisdiction of the power company, so he has to take it up with the power company.
Mine's privately owned. I have my own lamp post. I built it myself and I put it up in my own yard. It's very bright.
I got solar power.
It's a good example. So the electricity company then has to take him to court to stop him doing it, but in the meantime, he can continue to do it because you can't block him doing it anymore.
They're going to refuse to do it because it costs money for them to do it.
Right.
No, they won't be doing it though. Or maybe you can order them to do it.
Actually, I think if I do a little bit of a twist, I don't think I'll ruin the whole illustration here. Let's say Trump made an executive order making us paint our stuff orange. Like all of you need to paint your stuff orange. If he wants to come in and paint everything, or if he wants to tell us to paint everything and we say no, we're not doing it. I don't know what you said.
I'm just saying, like, I should have come up with another analogy. I'm not saying that you would have to do it. I'm just saying that, the federal workforce has to go and do this. The post people.
What federal workforce? He fired them all. He fired them all.
Your federal post, don't you have federal post in America? US Post, whatever it's called, right? So he orders all the mailmen to fucking change the uniform to fucking red caps. Let's say.
And what happens if they don't do it?
They get sacked.
He doesn't have that power.
Tim Ballum, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Look what happened to pre-war Germany. Okay.
I mean, when the British told the Irish to paint their doors black, the Irish didn't paint their doors black.
Yes, because that's telling civilians to do a thing. But if you're working for the federal postal service and they have a uniform and it has to include the Trump hat now, you have to wear the Trump hat, or you can go get another job.
Are you saying he's going to militarize the post office?
No, it's a hat, not a gun.
Well, they're still civilians.
Yeah, but they're working for a job. It's like the person in control of McDonald's deciding to change the uniform, and if you don't like it, well, fuck off, get another job.
They have a union and they're at-will employees, so they can quit.
Yeah, they can quit. I think go to the union and maybe go on strike. But
right.
So then what's the next step for Trump when he still needs these things painted because he said he wants them all painted and there's no one to do the paint? Like, no one has to follow these orders is, I guess, like my larger point. Is he can make all the orders that he wants, but unless he has a mechanism to individually enforce it on every single person to do whatever the hell he's trying to say, but he's gonna have to do the legwork of chasing everybody down that doesn't want to listen to him.
I'm not saying that you have to do it. He's not going to order you to do anything. But in the realms of the power of the presidency, he's got the FBI, he's got the CIA, he's got Homeland Security and ICE. He's got the fucking Coast Guard. He's got all these different departments that he basically is in charge of and can make executive orders to tell them to do whatever the fuck he wants them to do. And if they don't do it, they lose their jobs. And you say there's unions, but we're seeing there's going to be over 100,000 federal jobs being cut. How many of them are going to get it back through the union? Come on.
Right, but that's the point, right? There's not going to be anyone to enforce his stuff unless you use the military.
And how much military do we have to make sure that all these poles are painted and protect?
You have the biggest army in the world.
Do that. Okay, it's 1 million people, and there's 340 million of us. I mean,
so
I guess
1 million people. I didn't know it was that big. 1 million people in your armed services.
Just under. It's like 900,000.
Okay, yeah. So just get them to do it. He's the commander in chief.
Yeah, but they're spread all over the world. They're not here.
And also, there's a lot of light poles. So every time he makes up one of these crazy batshit fucking declarations, okay, do it. Okay,
might take him a few years.
Okay, make us stop having elections. Okay, so then you're going to have to physically send all of those people to go capture all those voters and do all. No, do it. Do it. That's what I'm saying.
Fuck up the system.
Because at this point, his way of governing is through threats and bluffs. So I don't buy a fucking word of anything that he says, and I do not buy into the fear that he tries to spread. Do it if you're big and bad. Fucking do it. You want to oppress us? Oppress us. Notice how he's going after undocumented people, and he has stayed his ass out of he stayed out of the fucking hood, right? He didn't go after nobody in these black neighborhoods, right? Because they know what time it is. Well, these guys are fucking cowards.
SG has just put in the chat, ICE's budget's now insane. Like, so they might start now. I mean, maybe up to this point they've stayed away from those areas, Mikey. But They've now got more money than the CIA and the FBI put together.
They never even went into LA. They went into Paramount because they were scared of LA. They got to South Central and turned around.
That's why
these are cowards.
Yeah,
and they're wearing masks.
Now they're going to have tanks and beating masks. Tim Ballum, and this is definitely got to be the last super chat because I'm in so much trouble with my missus. She gave me the death stare about 20 minutes ago. Trump is going to get rid of US Postal Service because he fears the United States Postal Inspection Service because they make the FBI look like pussies. So there you go. Isn't that how Pinkerton fucking detective agency got started?
Yo, the U.S. Postal Service got some certified assassins over there. Not everybody is I mean, if you had to go to somebody's house because you think they're doing like mail fraud to like launder drugs, like coke and shit like that, they're probably not going to just be like, oh, let me put my morning tea down and have a conversation with you. No, they're going to be blasting.
All right. Well, listen, I'm going to cut it there because I need to get off. So I just want to say before we go, Trump, Epstein, Epstein, Trump, Trump, Epstein, Epstein, Trump, Trump, Epstein, Epstein, Trump.
Epstein,
Thank you very much to Mikey
Epstein.
Famine and to Timothy Bristol here for joining us on the show this evening for a lively debate about Trump's fucking bullshittery and his gobshitiness, which I think we all do agree on the fact that the guy is the world's biggest pile of shit. But
yes,
I think we just disagree on the stuff surrounding that. So look, I'll be back in the morning at
Graham
9
just
o'clock.
thinks we're all pieces of shit too.
No, I do not.
He keeps calling us pieces of shit over and over and over again. I'm defending us, America. I got our back.
If you want to defend America, go to the Bin podcast on
there you
YouTube
go.
And like and subscribe.
That'll really stick in Graham's craw.
So anyway, thanks to Mikey and to Tim, and thanks to everyone watching. Thanks for the super chats. Give us a like on the way out. Whatever channel you're watching this on, we always like a like on this channel. And until next time, until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning when I come back with Morning Brew, I'll say thanks for watching. Hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.
Bye.